Good Monday night, ladies and gentlemen. This is a special edition of the Place to Be Reviews. Monday night, going in raw. I am your host, Etep Wakuyan of the Place to Be. I am joined by my co-host, the amazing Miss MJ. Hello, Monica.
Hi, buddy.
How are you?
It's Monday.
And we're all here at 8:30 my time anyway. So I guess something to be said for that, right? And also joining us this evening, my brother from another mother, the Groovinator from Raiders of the Lost Flicks.
I'll have you know, Pete, I finally watched that Batwoman trailer today, and
Yes.
Not only is it stunning and brave, but I think you're very wrong about what you've been saying about Batwoman. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I think they look like they all worked at the same burlesque nightclub before they were hired.
I think so too. I think so too. Let's see who else we have on the roster this evening. He comes back again.
We already lost Pete. Are you kidding
Yep.
me?
Everyone put $1 in.
Wow.
Oh my god, I'm gonna go broke.
The Pete Daddy dollar jar.
Monica, you're vice president.
I'm starting the jar early tonight. So let's just introduce Tap and Die.
Hello.
So I got a router from Tap
Totally
today.
Cecil.
Wow. Clink a glass around.
I gotta find one.
Nobody has one. I didn't even have time to prepare.
There we go.
And
so what did you get today?
I got a router and a bag of Lego weapons from Tap today. The Lego weapons and the Lego man went over swimmingly. The router, well, as you can see, I'm still getting kicked off. I couldn't get it to catch on to my IP address for some reason, so I'll have more time to mess with it tomorrow. But yeah, I do have a router, and we're gonna try to hook that up until the this is the temporary relief assistance router until the GoFundMe is finished. But yeah, I'm going to be matching whatever's put in there. So I will do that. And last but not least on the panel this evening, he's back for the second time, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Will Vendetta. How you doing, Will?
Yo, I'm fantastic, man. Thanks for having me again.
No problem, man. No problem. And looks like we got the audio situation straightened out there on your end. So
we did.
For now.
I guarantee,
God is good, man. God is good.
I guarantee you, I will get kicked off more than you will tonight. So David Applegate's already in the chat. What's up, David? How you doing, my man? Thank you for joining us on such short notice. Like I said, Monday night is usually an Anchor night, but I kind of called an audible at the last second and said the hell with Anchor. And plus, I just want to come out and say, go Lions. We actually won yesterday, so
yeah, we did. That was amazing.
We are undefeated.
Yes, we are unbeaten, but not untied.
Man, that's my team's won last night.
I watched the Lions and I slept through the late games. I didn't watch Fear the Walking Dead last night. I went and I played a game of I played some Madden last night on my PlayStation 2 and then passed out in my chair. So
nice.
that was my night.
Do they still make Madden for
Good
PlayStation 2 or?
I'm playing 2011.
Oh.
Yeah, I've got 11, 8, 6, 5, I think for the PS2. And like ESPN 2K5 or 2K6, I think. So
The worst thing that ever happened to sports games was franchise exclusivity.
yes, yep. Because when
fucking worst, man.
ESPN used to be able to make a football game, and so did EA Sports. So you had a variance.
ESPN used to make NHL. In fact, the best hockey game I ever played was ESPN NHL 2K5. That game was the shit.
Oh yeah, that was
awesome.
good.
See, I used to like playing the NHL on the Sega Genesis.
And then EA came along and said,
Yep.
You know what, we're going to buy all of this shit, and you're just going to buy it because there's no other game. There's no competition. Never did not have any competition.
Well,
Never.
they stopped making the college football like altogether, I believe. The what was it? They used to make like NCAA college football. Yeah, they
Yep.
quit making that.
Yep, it's part of that franchise exclusivity. That's
Yep.
why you have all these fucked up, rotten ass sports games out now. So
Yeah.
I quit buying the hockey games, man. I'm done. I stopped.
I know we were talking about that last night, you and I, because you're a huge hockey fan. You know, you
Yes.
you grew up a
October
Blackhawks
10th,
fan.
motherfuckers. That's when the Blackhawks
Who's
take
your
the ice.
team, though?
Oh, he's a
Chicago
Blackhawks.
Oh, no.
Yep. Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah.
what
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's
Yeah, I'm a
that.
Wings
Yeah.
fan, so it looks like
Yep.
there's a little rivalry here, huh?
Oh, I
yeah.
know. Yeah. There's like 3 Wings fans in here, and I don't give a fuck.
I like some buffalo wings.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
quite tonight.
Yes.
Oh God, yeah. The Browns and the Jets are playing
Monday night, yep.
Monday night. See, I'm kind of like the Jets are like my second or third team that I kind of root for, but so
For me, it's Tampa. It's Tampa and Blackhawks, but I'm always black and red until the day I'm dead.
Oh yeah,
I'm
that's
Blackhawks for life. So yeah.
Yep.
Well, I guess my other hockey team, I like the Bruins and the Predators. So I mean,
Yeah, the Preds are my bandwagon fan.
yeah, the Preds are awesome.
Yeah,
Two
you live
bands,
down
like
there,
the
right? Do you get to go to the game? Have you been to many games down there? How's their arena, Monica?
It's really nice, actually. I mean, it's newer, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I want to go to a. That's one thing I've never been to a Red Wings game. I've been to every other professional
I'm like the biggest
sport.
fan.
I know. Like I said, I got to post the pictures up of me holding the Stanley Cup back in '97. I got pictures.
Dude.
I got pictures in Doug Brown's Mustang and stuff like that. We were at the Zamboni driver for the Joe Louis, Al Sabacco.
Nice.
We were at his house for a block party, and they just won their first cup because they won '97, '98. And
in some alternate universe, that's the job that I want. I want to be the motherfucking Zamboni driver.
that would be fun.
Like
It'd be
one
the
from
best-
Deadpool.
Best job ever, man. Yeah.
Dude, I actually have I painted a house for a guy who played for the Toronto Maple Leafs, but his dad retired from the Detroit Red Wings, I think back in like the early 90s. And I totally got to meet him, like fanboyed out a little bit. So that was kind of cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so I think we've got our sports ball out of the way.
And Lowry's not even here.
I know. See that's for the coach. And like I said, I will be. I'll be
you guys
doing.
will hate me in October. I'm just warning you right now.
I don't mind hockey, man. Like I said,
I turn into a complete Neanderthal. Worse than I already am.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm not with
Hockey's
football. Football's still my sport. I don't mind watching.
The only thing I enjoy about as much as hockey is talking shit about hockey, and I talk so much shit about hockey. It's not funny.
I haven't followed the Red Wings in a couple years, so it's like I couldn't name 2 fucking players on their roster right now. Honestly.
Young team, man. They're a young team.
After all my fellow countrymen, the Russians left, I quit watching them.
Yeah.
Patrick Kane,
Steve
your argument is invalid.
Yeah, no.
Patrick Kane. I know Patrick Kane.
Yeah,
And,
that's all you need to know is Patrick Kane.
Yep.
There's Patrick Kane, and then there's the rest of the Blackhawks.
He's always been in a league.
He is the fucking team. Yeah.
Yep. All right, let's see here. So, for just to run through the articles we have this evening, we've got Ruin Johnson no longer allowed to claim he has a Star Wars trilogy.
Yay!
That's great news. Let's
rock your world.
And then we have some news from Star Making Wars, some Rise of Skywalker leaks. Article 3, Taco Tuesday confirms that Thor, now the male Thor, actually has a place in.
Oh my god.
There he goes. That's the second dollar.
Can I take this opportunity since he got interrupted in the middle of his news releases? Late breaking news just happened just before he made the outline. They are in development making a sequel to Cobra with Sylvester.
Cobra!
Not Cobra. Yep.
The wrong Cobra.
The Golden Globus classic, ladies and gentlemen. It's a terrible movie and we love it.
In a good way.
I got that
it's still
DVD.
good.
Man.
I still like watching that movie, man. I
only got to see a little bit, but I enjoyed what little I got to see.
Oh my god! Yeah, you want to stalk that fucker down on Blu-ray or DVD if you get a chance.
Speaking of DVDs, I found that DVD set you bought.
Did you really? Oh my god!
Yeah,
Where'd you
but I
find
didn't buy it because I already have like 4 out of 5 of the movies I've already seen.
Gotcha. See, I didn't have any of them. I used to have Missing in Actions, but I didn't have any of the other ones.
Yeah, and I think my favorite movie out of all of them though was Invasion USA, which is That's a documentary about the time Chuck Norris saved America.
Yep,
Just to be clear,
a little known documentary that nobody realizes it's actually a true story. Yep.
Hey, Chuck Norris saves America on
daily
whenever
basis.
on a daily
That
basis.
movie is so sweet, dude.
Oh
my god!
And article number 4, we're going to dive back into the race swapping possibility of Professor X and Magneto, because this is a really hot button topic right now with the fandom menace, and in general, if they're going to do it, reports are they're eyeing Denzel. So that's ahead. But we're going to start right now with Monica's Movie Monday. Monica, what do you got for us?
Yay. Okay, so no movies coming out until Friday this week.
Okay.
Downton Abbey is being released into a movie, which I'm sure everybody knows what that is already.
Oh yeah, we're excited for that one.
I do.
I don't watch PBS.
Cap and I got advance tickets for that.
I was gonna say, please don't make me explain that one.
No, I'm aware of
It's
this.
set during World War One, but it's not World War One. There.
Okay. Next one is Ad Astra.
That's the Brad
This-
Pitt joint.
Yes, this has Brad Pitt and Liv Tyler, Tommy Lee Jones.
That's the second movie Liv Tyler's been involved with, a space movie.
Yes, it's the plot line is astronaut Roy McBride undertakes a mission across an unforgiving solar system to uncover the truth about his missing father and his doomed expedition that now, 30 years later, threatens the universe.
Yay!
Dun dun dun.
It has 7.7 stars.
Okay, who's roboting out?
I don't know. It's really annoying.
It's probably me.
Is your volume turned down?
No.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
Do I need to
Next
turn
one-
it down?
If you're on YouTube.
The mic will pick it up and make it sound like a.
Oh my God, Pete.
Yeah.
Why? We're 10 minutes in and he's gone 3 times. That's bad.
Oh shit.
Today's radio commercial's been sponsored by Legos.
Yeah, we gotta get this shit under.
And Midnight's Edge.
God.
Hey, God damn it.
How deep into the fundraiser are we, Monica?
I haven't checked.
I haven't either. I meant to check it today and I just forgot.
Yeah, I'll work on that. Okay, so the next one, I think we're going to the theater to watch this. Is Rambo: Last Blood.
Yes.
That one looks so good.
Stoked for
And
that.
I
then,
am legitimately excited about that one.
and then in 2 years, it's going to be Last Blood Part 2.
Yeah, so the plot on this one is Rambo must confront his past and unearth his ruthless combat skills to exact revenge in a final mission.
Well, if he's going to, go by his past, confront his past, that means he's just going back to Vietnam. But I don't see that in the trailers. Just saying.
I mean, I am a fan of the Rambo movies, so I'm not.
Oh yeah, me too.
There's really none of them that
But I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out when they say to
Right.
confront his past, like that's all the way in Nam.
I have some that I like more than others, but they all have something good in each
Yeah.
Yeah,
one. They're well written, I think.
Mm-hmm.
and he plays that part well.
He does.
Mhm.
So
He
I'll give
really
him that.
does.
He's like 74 now.
Damn.
But I
Um,
like the way he writes because he writes entertaining stuff, and he doesn't
Yeah.
let outside politics affect what it is that he's writing. He just likes to write entertaining scripts, and you can say what you want about Sly's acting. The guy's always been a good writer.
Mm-hmm.
He's always come up with really good scripts.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
wrote The Last Creed, so that one was amazing. So
Right. People were just drooling over that one.
yeah, he wrote that. That was all him.
Mm.
okay, I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for this next one, but I'm just gonna list off the cast first. Okay, so we have Haley Steinfeld, Keanu Reeves, Brie Larson, Tessa Thompson,
So-
Matthew McConaughey,
Piano.
Benedict Cumberbatch, Will Ferrell, John Hamm. Have you seen this?
What
Lauren Lapkus, Rashada
What?
Jones,
Knives
Adam
Out.
Scott.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, is it Knives Out?
It's called Between Two Ferns, the movie.
Oh yes,
Oh
I
my
saw
God.
the preview for that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Are you guys Zach Galifianakis fans?
I think Galifianakis.
Galifianakis.
I think he's
Galifianakis.
kind of funny.
It depends.
He's too fucking weird. I cannot get into his awkward humor. I know.
Yeah, I can only get a little bit, not that
but
much.
I don't get him at all. I just don't.
Like The Hangover, I love that movie. I
Yes.
I tried to
laughed
love The
every
Due
time.
Date
Hangover.
was a good one.
I don't know.
But his other ones, not so much.
I've seen his stand-up stuff too, and he's just his whole shtick is just I'm being awkward. I'm being more awkward. Look, I'm being awkward again. It's his whole act. Basically, what you see in the movies.
So Brian Lape, huh?
Yeah, Brian Lape. Brian Lape about 3 craft beers in.
Yep.
Cock muffin.
I'm
Cock
kind of
muffin.
like curious to see how he interviews these people, like how he handles it.
I bet you it'll be awkward.
Yeah,
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is a huge cat. Like, it's got David Letterman. I mean, there's a ton of people in
The
this.
sex freak.
Hopefully, it's legitimately funny because there's been a lack of comedy this year in general. Just not a lot of like just straight up comedy. Nothing.
Oh, the guy from Thor's in it. Wait, is he?
Which one?
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage is
Okay.
in it.
Okay.
Chrissy Teigen, Tiffany Haddish. Like, it's just funny. Okay, moving along. Next is Bloodline. It's another horror film.
Wait, Hellraiser? Bloodline?
It just says Bloodline.
Oh,
Bloodborne. Isn't that a game?
Bloodborne's a game. Bloodline
Yeah.
is Hellraiser 4, I think.
Eh.
The plot for this: Evan values family above all else, and anyone who gets between him, his wife, and newborn son learns that the hard way. But when it comes to violent tendencies, it seems the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Rob Schneider.
Right.
This summer, Rob Schneider.
This picture is creepy looking too.
Yeah, they give Rob Schneider shit, but I did like him in that movie Benchwarmers.
He's
Yes.
funny. Rob Schneider is legitimately funny, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do like him.
I think he's in supporting roles like he is. He's really good.
Hmm.
Okay. Corporate Animals. Have you seen the preview for that?
No.
It is a comedy / horror. Is that real? I mean,
Oh, the real life
Yes.
story of Kathleen Kennedy and
Right?
it's got Demi Moore.
And the rape of Star Wars. Yeah.
Gotcha. The takeover, the hostile takeover of Lucasfilm of 2012.
Talk about a struggle snuggle that went too hardcore.
Oh my god.
I don't understand how it's a comedy and a horror film at the same time.
Well, there is Shaun the Dead. That's a comedy horror.
Another one that never gets mentioned is American Werewolf in London is totally a comedy horror.
So
I need to see that movie.
It's
I
just
saw like bits of it.
it's fucking funny, and it freaked a lot of people out in the 80s because it's like cool to do that now, but back then you either had to be funny or scary, and John Landis said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do both," and everybody just did not know how to react to that. And,
That movie was great. It really
is.
was.
If you think about it, it's just as goddamn funny as it is scary. It really is.
Absolutely.
It's hilarious. Yeah, it's like you got me sitting in a porno theater in Piccadilly Circus. I mean, you don't say lines like that and not laugh. You just can't, you know.
Well, that sounds better than this plot story here. It says a corporate team building caving weekend to New Mexico. When disaster strikes, not even their useless guide, Brandon, who's played by Ed Helms, can save them. Trapped underground by a cave-in, this mismatched and disgruntled group must pull together in order to survive.
So Brandon must be soy based.
It's only got 5.
Useless. Yep. He bet he drinks that White Claw.
Law is law.
Oh no.
Okay, and the last one is the Nicolas Cage movie.
Yes, I'm already on
Oh,
board.
sweet.
All you had to do is say,
Which one?
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
It's called Running with the Devil.
"Oh, love it even
And it's
better."
based on a Van Halen song. I'm down.
Mm,
Is it another one of his straight to DVD
a
films?
win-win.
Crime drama thriller. The CEO of an international conglomerate sends two of his most regarded I can't even read or speak today. Executives to investigate why shipments of cocaine are being hijacked and overcut somewhere on the supply chain.
Sounds kind of like Samurai Cop, but it's got Nicolas Cage in it. It's gonna be wonderful.
Nicolas Cage would have been wonderful in Samurai Cop.
Oh.
I love that the cat.
Yeah, the black dude looking for his dad. Oh my God! I found my father.
Wrong movie, asshole. That was Miami Connection.
No, I was just thinking about that one though.
Oh yeah. Better movie.
That's what I'm saying though. Wouldn't it be funny if he was in that one?
What were you saying, Mon?
Oh my God!
The cast list on this doesn't have names. Like normally, like I'll say Nicolas Cage in the name of his character. It's literally named like the cook, the agent in charge, the man, number one, the boss, the farmer.
Oh, they're going for that artsy shit. That's why.
The women, the collector, the wife. Like
Is Nicolas Cage playing every single role?
No.
That would be
awesome.
amazing. Nicolas Cage as everything.
It's one movie with Nicolas
So
Cage.
he's trying to be Eddie Murphy then?
That would be cool.
He's listed as the cook. And we lost Pete.
Again?
We're not even 30 minutes in. Do you
We
people
have to stop.
understand?
We really have to.
Donate to the GoFundMe account, please.
Yes, if you can find it in your heart to sponsor a starving router, please.
$10. Just give him $10. $10.
$10.
He gonna rub you wrong time. Rub you wrong time.
$10 no
$10
10
to the
pesos.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, that got old quick.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Let's see. What's the rate of exchange these days? So I used to love going to Canada because like you could exchange like $100, you get like 225 Canadian. It was like Monopoly money. It was fucking great.
Fucking Canadians.
With experience, even people in Canada have better routers than you, Pete.
Oh, I know. I know. Trust me. And the people in
I
Saskatoon.
think Ethiopians have better routers.
Saskatoon will kick ass on PS4.
Oh shit! Is that all the movies for this week, Monica?
Yes.
Well, thank you for performing Monica's Movie Monday for us once
Thank you
again.
for not saying that sentence the other way.
What?
I know. Don't say it. Don't.
Nope.
Say it. You're gonna be tempted.
Not
Don't
saying
do it.
nothing.
You're not
Not saying nothing.
He changed his tone. I appreciate that.
Hey.
That was Monica's Movie Monday. So next before we move into this, kind of goes along with science fiction and Star Wars because it is a space show. Now, are any of you familiar with the cable network Comet TV?
Nope.
Have you ever?
Yeah.
Nope.
It is
I
a
don't own
very.
Sounds like a conglomerate of a sci-fi channel.
It is a very. Now they show
All
a lot
the
of the old,
B-rated stuff.
For any of these movies.
they show the kaijus and stuff like that, and just science fiction. They're doing a big '80s kick this week. Well, at about was it 2 a.m. the other night? I was watching it, and
Yep.
I caught the show called Space 1999,
I've never seen
Oh
it.
yeah.
Oh, really?
I have not watched it. Yeah.
starring Martin Landau,
Yep.
Barbara Bain. I mean,
That's
this.
Barbara Bush.
No, this show is. I DVR'd like 2 episodes in train. I watched them Sunday morning before football. They are so cheesy, but they're so much fun to watch. Like when they were flying the spaceship around, supposed to be watching it on the monitor. It looked like me playing with my action figure or
Yep.
one of my spaceships on a string.
Yeah,
It
it
was-
was definitely not Lucasfilm.
So you saw the string?
Special effects. Yeah, it's
I still.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
wait.
tried. They tried.
I still think it's better than The Last Jedi. David Applegate says that it was set to pass Star Trek, then it got canceled.
yeah.
See,
We're never gonna stop past Star Trek. But okay, so I have a subscription to Shout TV, and that's through my Amazon. It's like an extra $5 a month, and I did that specifically so I could watch all the Mystery Science Theaters. But Space 99, the entire series is on there, and it's in my queue. I just haven't been able to pry myself away from Mystery Science long enough to sit down and actually watch an episode. But that makes me want to see it now.
Yeah,
Sometimes I like cheesy sci-fi.
I watched. It was a two part deal. I watched, and yeah, man, it was fun. Like I really enjoyed sitting there. You know, it was like each episode there was 2 hour and 15-minute episodes. So I sat and watched both those. But yeah, it was a really fun show to get into, and it's always cool to see Martin Landau in something. I was
Didn't Martin Landau used to play Sarek in the original Star Trek?
I don't know.
He used to actually play Sarek. Yeah, he used to play Spock's dad in Star Trek
okay.
special series. Yeah, I think it was Martin Landau. I'll have to fact check that.
Yeah, see, I am not that much of a Trekkie. Like I said,
I'm more of a Trekkie than I should probably tell people.
But see, that's okay, man. That's all right.
I had to be a closet Trekkie for years, man.
Let's see. Wait. Okay. Dave, I'm going to read this because Dave's talking about Space 9. I said they had Space 1999 toys when I was a kid. Same with the Thunderbirds. Yep. I've never heard of the Thunderbirds, but
Space. Well, I found that shit at Walmart.
Space 1999 toys. Yeah, they're kind of like little plastic army men type, if I remember correctly.
Okay. I said I'm going to have to look back because I used to have.
They weren't quite as involved as the Star Wars toys, but those kind of came along and changed everything. So.
Oh yeah. Oh God. Those things are revolutionary. We're going to have a toy collector stream on here, and it's not even straight up going to be like a toy collector stream. It's just going to be like if you have
a toy stream.
Kind of, yeah.
Just a regular toy stream.
Yeah, if you have something that you collect, or you're just one thing, or you want to talk about, just talk about. That's Sal and I were talking about doing that. So that'll be coming up in the next probably in the next week or so. We'll be planning.
Yeah, Sal, your new best friend, huh? Yeah, I know how it is.
Listen here, Mister. Yeah, like I said, we're doing. We're gonna have some pictures up of the new Lego Arsenal. I just did today was a schmaz. Like I said, by the time I had that router,
okay, I was definitely wrong. It was not Martin Landau. It was Mark Leonard, who looks a lot
Told you.
Yeah, it looks like Martin Landau when you put the eyebrows on him, though.
I was like watching Martin Landau on that show, like during the fight scenes. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I've seen old ass wrestlers work better than that. Will, remember Father Time?
Oh yeah.
Ain't no time like Father Time. There's this guy. Now I know none of y'all know anything about wrestling, but this is actually a really kind of cool story. He is he didn't become a wrestler till he's 55 or 60. Will, was it?
He was up there, yeah.
He was around 60. He's legally blind now, to the point where somebody has to lead him to the ring, and he wrestles, like does regular matches, man. And it's very cool. The crowd loves him. Like the local, was it NEM5 out of Saginaw, did a big feature on him for, I think it was like a couple of shows for a promotion that I'm not going to mention the name because they can fuck off. But there's Adam with the cricket. So yep, we're gonna move along then back to the topic again before I get too deep into a wrestling cutaway. And
we'll be at it for hours.
Yep. Oh God, yeah. That's coming to me. You and Loudy are going to do they're going to be a whole wrestling episode over there. Monica actually had a segment for that show planned out too. So of course she's going to be in on that too because she had something special for that. So
yeah, for like 30 minutes, and then I want out.
That's fine.
Oh, come on. Business like us.
Because I think with me, Will, and Loudy on a wrestling stream.
Yeah, I don't want to.
No, that'll surpass our longest episode, ever, I do believe. Which
Come
is
hang out on my channel, Monica. There'll be no Wrestle Speak over there.
Okay.
I can assure you that.
It's not that I mind it. It's just the three of them. It's like I don't have that much time.
You feel like the odd one in the date. I get you. Yeah.
It'll be like we're speaking a foreign language.
Yep.
No, it's not even that. It's just the three of you can have your time, and I won't.
Third wheel. Yeah.
The boys can have their time.
Wrestling sausage fest.
Yep. Absolute sausage fest.
So it's like a match with a woman versus Nyla Rose.
I'm afraid to answer that.
She's a tranny.
I'm a.
You mean a woman versus a woman?
She could be on Batwoman.
She's
stunning and brave.
Yep.
Let's go.
Damn it! What was that big Nazi chick they had on Damn Batman? That's a character. Damn it! I'll have to take a look at the name.
I just remember the Russian chick from Glow back in the days, Nanachka. All right, let's see here. Remember Nanachka?
I must have watched that trailer about 15 times today. Oh my god, just glorious.
Batwoman. All right, here we are, bounding into comics. Look at and we start right out with Ruin Johnson of the House of Roundhead. Rumor, Ryan
And the movie
Johnson.
Milk. His biggest claim to fame is always going to be that he wrote the movie Milk.
He ruined Luke Skywalker.
Yep, emasculated him.
Yep, just completely ruined him.
I'm
Rumor,
glad I can remember Luke Skywalker the way he was meant to be remembered.
yeah,
So I'm not up to date with Star Wars now, so
It's a good example of why you should leave well enough alone, for sure. Yeah.
mhm.
Sometimes just because you can do something doesn't mean you should.
That's absolutely correct. Let's see. New rumor suggests Disney told Sir Ruin Johnson of the House of Roundhead he's not allowed to confirm he's working on a new Star Wars trilogy. The rumor comes from WDW Pro on WDW Magic Forums. WDW Pro states Ryan Johnson was given official notice by Disney he is no longer to confirm he is making any future trilogy or working on any future movies. He was given the ability to be ambiguous about it, but no more confirmations per Disney legal. Essentially, he's a dead man walking when it comes to ever working with Star Wars again. And if that is true, hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Praise the Lord Jesus.
I want to praise little 6 pound, 8 ounce baby Jesus wearing a tuxedo t-shirt because that says he's formal, but he still likes to party. The rumor surfaces about a week after Johnson started making the rounds in the press to promote his film, Knives Out. Disney had previously announced Johnson would be working on a trilogy of Star Wars films just before The Last Jedi hit theaters, and there's a fucking reason they're telling him to shut his soy-filled mouth. Johnson was expected to write and direct the first film in the trilogy with Ram Bergman. Well, Ram-a-lam, bow, ding, down. The trilogy was expected to introduce new characters from a corner of the galaxy that Star Wars lore has never explored before. Well, that's probably because nobody fucking wants to. Because it's like the roundhead dimension of Star Wars. However, following the release of The Last Jedi and moviegoers' reaction to the film, Disney and Lucasfilm have seemingly tempered their previous excitement for Johnson's trilogy. Most recently, Lucasfilm Kathleen Kennedy noted Game of Thrones writers David Benioff and D.B. Weiss would be working with Johnson on Star Wars as they finish Game of Thrones. They're going to segue that into Star Wars, while working very closely with Rhiannon. Benioff and Weiss were initially supposed to be working on their own separate series of films from Johnson. However,
What the heck? Oh my god.
What is
Yes.
happening?
oh, I love it, dude. I love it. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little
Oh,
lies.
I thought
I
that was
love it.
Steve playing it. I'm
Every
like,
time
you
that
can't.
was me. Every time they talk about that trilogy, I'm just like,
Yep.
"Tell me your eyes, tell me
I thought it was him. I'm
your
like, he can't even stay connected long enough to have a
No,
conversation, but he can share his screen
Yeah.
and play music. What's
I'm
happening?
sorry, guys. I couldn't fucking resist doing it.
No, dude, that was perfect timing. I love it. Like I said, I was talking to Tat before. I was like, I couldn't get my music to play through here, so he could hear it beforehand. I don't know, but however, Kennedy indicated they were also looking for new talent. Well, because Johnson has no fucking talent.
The fact that they're looking for talent has been
Right.
the problem all along.
I was gonna say it hasn't been that's what's handicapped them since
Maybe
they
you
took
have
over.
to have talent to find talent. Did you ever stop and think about where the source of the problems lie? Damn
I
it.
mean, so far the best two people they've had have been Gareth Edwards
Yep.
and Opie, but Opie had to reshoot 75% of his, like we said the other
I don't
night.
think I can count Opie because Opie honestly has a very 50-50 track record when it comes to music.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's
For every good movie he's had, he's got about 10 or 12 bad.
true. I would still say he's slightly better than Rhiannon Johnson though.
Mhm.
Well, until he does something for Star Wars that isn't boring as fuck.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not
Otherwise,
I'm
no.
not defending Solo.
No,
That movie
no.
was a fucking
I
snooze.
mean, I'm not going to pin that movie's failure. We've already talked about that ad
Yeah.
nauseum. I would pin the movie's failure on him, but
Yeah.
I also refuse to use that as an example of, oh, I did a good Star Wars movie.
No, there's
Mhm.
No, you didn't.
there's not a corner of the galaxy he can claim that's a
Nope.
good Star Wars movie. Let's see. So it goes on to say, however, Kennedy indicated they were also looking for new talent. We have a series of filmmakers that we're bringing into the fold. We can start to look at as directing talent, and we're going to try to bring women into the mix as well.
The Vermin.
Well,
The only person, a director out there that I know this is a little off the topic, but as long as we're there, Denis Villeneuve. He's the guy that did Blade Runner 2049 and The Arrival. I would love to see what he would do with Star Wars.
I haven't seen the new Blade Runner.
He's also working on the Dune reboot, which I actually have faith in. I think that's going to be good.
God,
Whether it performs well or not, I don't know, but
that's a whole other monster.
I think he will make a decent movie because he does definitely prioritize story over everything else, and that's all you could possibly ask for in a director that you would like to see.
You definitely need more
Dune,
of that.
Now, how many? Dune. What did they do? They did one movie, and how many books did they do?
A
I lost
shitload.
count. Yeah, there's a shitload. There was, I think, 3 with the original author, and then his son took over, and they've been doing books ever since.
Okay, so it's relevant enough in the zeitgeist to where
if the first couple of movies really lands, like like I would like to see Dune done like with the kind of love and affection that they did with, say, Lord of the Rings. Okay. May or may not be fans of that. People that like Tolkien genuinely love those first Lord of the Rings movies, and at least was enough to bring in a completely different prequel trilogy. Whereas with Dune, if you were able to really nail it, because there's a really cool story in there, and I think Sci-Fi Channel did a really good job, but they had like no budget. Okay, so they had to pretty much use acting and pacing and direction because they didn't have the budget there for the special effects or the costumes, and it shows especially when you watch it now. But now that this has an all-star cast, a budget I think of around ballpark of 170 million, which is great for a sci-fi movie. It might even be more than that. I don't remember what the exact, but it's got a real Hollywood type budget, and you got Javier Bardem, you've got the guy that plays Poe Dameron, who I can't remember, Oscar Isaac.
Isaac.
He's playing Duncan or Duke Leto. I mean, it could be great. It really could. And from what I've seen from Denis Villeneuve, I think he understands the properties that he's working with, because he's the one I've ever seen that they'll take a sequel to a movie that's like more than 20 years old and make it somehow feel like an actual sequel to a movie that was made 20 fucking years ago, which neither Rian Johnson nor J.J. Abrams have been able to completely pull off yet.
J.J. doesn't have the talent to do. He doesn't. He's not a talent.
No, and that's something I noticed, because it's like I remember saying I liked the Star Trek reboot, but it's like he keeps doing the same thing. It's like everything is the same. It's essentially the same movie. The Force Awakens is identical to Star Trek 2009. It's the same fucking movie.
Yeah, that's
all he did was swap out the characters.
Yep. And then this is before I get back to this article, the last bullet point I want to touch on with Jar Jar is he just signed that deal with Warner Brothers. Now they're teasing him directing the Justice League sequel, which really is a kick in the dick to me, because I
make a sequel to a movie that flopped.
Because we're gonna storm Area 51, release the Snyder Cut, and all
didn't perform. Everybody talks about how much they hated Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad made money.
Yeah,
I like Suicide Squad.
It might not have made the money that they wanted it to make, but it made enough money to make a profit. Whereas Justice League was a failure. It didn't make near the money that they needed to keep it afloat. So
it had so much potential.
It did, yeah. They really built it up, but obviously they blew it. And it's unfortunate, but I can forgive somebody for making a bad movie. I'm kind of used to it.
That kills me, because I still I just rented that about. It was about 4 weeks ago. It was about a month, maybe 3-4 weeks ago. I rented it and I watched it again, and it was bad. But I was like, God damn, I just love these characters. Because if you look,
characters are great, but I think it'd be better if rather than make a Justice League movie, just keep making individual movies and have them show up as cameos. Do the if you really want to do that cinematic universe bullshit, have them pop in a movie like, hey, Wonder Woman's here. Hey, it's Aquaman. You know what I'm saying? Like, just have him do a cameo.
Hey, the animated series.
Yeah, the animated Justice League movies are kick ass.
Because the Justice League movie, it blew its wad, okay, and nobody's going to be patient enough to want to give it a second chance at this point. It seems like a colossal waste of money. They keep trying to push that so hard, and it's like, you had the chance, you blew it, move on, work on other things. You've had a couple of successes. go with that.
Do you think DC will make up for it with their television shows?
Yeah, because for a long time the DC television shows have been more successful than the Marvel shows.
Oh yeah.
Other than the Netflix originals, which I thought most of those were pretty great, but there's still,
I like those too.
but those don't exist anymore. So
Wow,
They're legends
actually,
now.
They're legends. They're decanonized legends.
Yep.
if any
they
of them
did
was
just release an article about them going to Hulu and FX.
okay, if they continue any one of those, if they were to just let go of all of them and just keep one, I would say keep Daredevil.
Yes.
Because Daredevil was the fucking
Let's
last
dash
season
and Frank
of Daredevil-
Castle in there and we're good.
The last season of Daredevil was so good. I mean, I did not expect it to be that good. It was so good. It was just really
I don't
well.
even think I finished it. I think I'm halfway through that last season.
Stick with it. You'll be pleasantly.
Oh yeah.
It's now the last season of the Punisher. Even though I'm probably out of all them comic book characters, Punisher is probably my biggest favorite. Did not like that last season of the Punisher at all. There was not enough.
Oh, you
Punisher
didn't?
in it? No, there wasn't enough Punisher in it. You spent all this time with fucking Milani or whatever the fuck her name is, and the Jigsaw guy, and both of those actors suck. Yeah, Manani, that's it.
Yeah, they should have chose a villain and stuck with it.
And like the best part of this, it's almost like an ultimate fuck you. It's like, spoiler alert, you guys might want to mute your ears, but there's like a scene at the end of Punisher where it's like he just comes out guns a-blazing. And I'm like, that's what the fuck I wanted to see all season.
Yeah.
It was like the ultimate slap in the face.
Babysitting that girl, I hated her. She annoyed the shit out of me.
It's like she was boring in the first season, and then they put more of her in the second season. I'm like, this is the.
No, I'm talking about that other. Well, her too, but I'm talking about the girl he finds in the second season.
The one that
Like when that part happened where she was in the trailer and she tried to do that movie Tyler. He got so pissed and started. I think he shot his gun and everything. That was my feelings. I was so like, yes.
For something
I was so happy.
Punisher, for something called Punisher starring John Bernthal, I was extremely disappointed with that season, man.
I'll just play the new what's it called, Tom Clancy game. He'll be in there. That'll be my Punisher right there.
There you go. Yeah, because I love John Bernthal.
Yeah.
I think he's a good Punisher, but that show needs some way better writers, and they need to get some people. There's too much dead weight on that show.
Yeah, because that villain, that preacher guy, he was interesting, but he would just not show up. He just didn't show up.
They didn't develop him, and then by the time it was time to do anything, he was. I agree. If he was the main villain, that would have worked. All right.
Because I like the whole idea that he was a former neo-Nazi, and then like he changed, but someone using his new faith to manipulate him to do bad things. That was interesting.
Jigsaw,
I like that.
I don't know if you read the comics tab, but Jigsaw in the comic books, he's like his Joker. You know what I mean? Like he's
they should have saved him for a third season or something. But like I said, they need to choose which villain they wanted to use.
Right. You when you have a show like that where you're spending all this extra time, it felt like a lot of what we were watching was just filling, like they didn't know what to do, and that's never a good thing. You know, it's like you should be teasing things out. You know what I mean? You should have, I don't feel like any of what I watched in Daredevil was just like shit in there, just trying to pad out the season or make the season three episodes longer than it needed to be. It never felt like that. Whereas with Punisher, it's like, man, we could have wrapped this up like 4 episodes. Anyways, sorry.
It is pretty disappointing because I love the Punisher, man.
I do too, man. I got all kinds of action figures. I got every fucking Punisher movie that was ever made, and I watched.
Yeah, I even like the Thomas Jane one. I don't care.
Yeah, he was a great one.
That first season was really solid. It was really solid, but I think the second season just didn't do it for me. It felt like it was just like when they finished the first season, they just didn't have a second season in mind. That's what.
See, I made
Maybe
it
we'll
halfway.
get a third season with the Russian.
I made it halfway through the first season, and I can't remember why I stopped watching. It's just I kind of got sidetracked by something.
You know what? Will started something here. Now we got to finish this. If you did do it, if you did another season of the Punisher, and you did go with the Russian, because you got me interested. Now, who would you pick to play the Russian? Yeah, who would be the Russian?
Oh man,
Caitlyn Jenner.
I got a guy in my head, but I can't remember his darn name.
I mean, you'd have to have some big Hulkamaniac looking motherfucker, man. Because
well, I mean, like Kevin Nash played him. He didn't really get any development. No, I don't even think he said a word. So
He was one of the best
tell.
parts of that Tom Jane movie. I really liked the
It was
Rush.
it was awesome.
The
that part where
problem
he
I
breaks
had
the
with
gun.
Tom Jane movie, most of that was John Travolta. I thought he was a weak ass villain, terrible weak.
Oh, hang on one second. I see we got another. Darth Tico's in the chat, and of course, Chris Wicks is in the chat. Hi, Chris, it's me.
Don't say it.
It's me,
What's
Taika
up,
Waititi. And hey, hope you hang out, bud. Yeah, we got
Welcome
some
to the
beers in the bucket
madhouse.
here. Log on to the Wi-Fi, and I got a story about Taco Tuesday coming up later there, bud. Because remember, I'll ruin your mythos in a minute. You don't know, you won't, because I haven't given it to you yet, baby. There we go. Carry on with your Punisher for now.
How do we follow that?
No, you can't. You can't. That's
No.
why I did it. That's a pipe bomb. No,
That's what you call a fan exclusive. And Chris Wicks is a cool guy, so
Yes.
he's worth it. Yeah.
Yep, man. That's Chris is a big supporter of
all of us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I say, man. Not only of my channel, but like the Fandom Menace, dude. This guy came all the way up from Australia to go to Star Wars Celebration just to meet. You know, he wanted to go to Celebration too, but he basically wanted to do the meet and greet with all the big the Fandom Menace people. So that's really that's very cool, man. So yeah, Chris is always good to see him in the chat. We got the chat's full of Aussies right now. We got David and Chris there. It is
Australian connection.
It's getting fun. Let's see what David say. Taco, Wakato, and Ruin Johnson need to go for a drive in a silver Porsche. They need to go. What is that? Is the that big opera thing with the shells? That's in Sydney, right? They need to drive till they hit the pier and just keep driving. But I don't want to see it mess up that Great Barrier Reef anymore, because that's having issues as it is. But before I start talking about the Great Barrier Reef, let me finish this article over here from Bounding into Comics. Where was I? Let's see. Disney did release that they have plans for Star Wars through 2026. Where's that song? Tell Me Lies. However, they only announced 3 plans. Disney CEO Bob Iger revealed the first film would be from Game of Thrones creators Benioff and Weiss. We did a deal with David Benioff and D.B. Weiss, who are famous for fucking up Game of Thrones in the bottom of the 9th inning. And the next movie that we release will be theirs. And we're not saying anything more about that. Probably because Benioff and Weiss won't be doing a Star Wars movie. I would. There it is. This is all I hear when Bob Iger or anybody from Disney talks. That's it. That's it.
I can't remember the part where
you can't. I don't believe Benioff and Weiss are going to do a Star Wars movie. I don't believe that they're going to do it as much as I believe Ruin Johnson's getting a fucking trilogy anymore, because these guys are they're like the people that they do like those car. Now, I worked in the car business for a long time. These are like, if you've ever seen the movie Live Hard, Sell Hard, The Goods.
Oh God, yes.
These are
Don ready?
That's Benioff and Weiss. They'll come. They come in and they set up shop. They're J.J. Abrams is like that too, though. He's a carny. He is. He's a huckster. He's a carny. He comes in, sells you snake oil, and it doesn't do shit. And by the time you go to get your refund, he's already skipped town. I
haven't seen that, but I have seen Glenn Ross. Does that count?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's a hell of a reference right there. God damn.
Yes, sir.
But all right, so let's see. Ruin Johnson has recently discussed his plans for Star Wars in an interview with Uprocks earlier this month. Johnson stated, "I'm where I can't say anything about it. Still completely in process with it. It's just, I don't know. It's a process. Means it's a process. So that means it could change. It could shift. There are a bunch of moving parts with it."
Take a drag of that cigarette.
Oh, and he's gone.
Yep, there he goes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's like $3 or $4.
I think we're at 5.
Idiot.
All right.
There we go.
See here. All right, let me go back to
I
this.
wish Pete would come back now. He keeps dropping. Let's just talk behind his back now.
Why is my name still on the screen?
That's what I was wondering too.
I haven't taken the banner off yet. Here, let me get back over here because I got screen share on there. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, so Ruin Johnson previously told The Observer in August, We're doing something that steps beyond the legacy characters. What does that look like? To me, the blue sky element of it was the most striking about it. It was striking, Ryan. Striking. Stunning and brave.
Stunning and brave.
I know the way I'm coming at it, and what's fun about it for everyone in Lucasfilm is figuring out what's the next step. It really makes you think and figure out what the essence of Star Wars is for me and what it will look like moving forward.
It puts the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the hose again.
Real big fat person.
It puts the fucking lotion in the basket.
Really, watch out, Midnight Zitch. He's coming for you.
Put the lotion in the basket. Put the lotion in the basket, Andre. No, really, man. Right. Ruin Johnson isn't going to know what Star Wars looks like moving forward, because moving forward is going to happen without Ruin Johnson. Deadline also reported earlier this month that Johnson and Bergman are, quote, crafting a new film series within Star Wars universe, and those plans remain on the boards. Yeah, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
I'm not mad that he's making this, even if this is true. Like I'm past the point of being mad. I just constantly think, who the fuck is gonna watch this? I mean, who is remotely interesting in watching this baboon?
Who's approving this shit too? Is my question.
A whole trilogy of movies.
Yeah, because all we gotta do is stay home.
Because he's gonna always be remembered as the asshole that not only, like, we would have forgiven him. I would have. I would have forgiven this guy if he would have just acknowledged, hey, maybe I went too far, fam, I'm sorry. Since we're never going to fucking get that, why should we care? We didn't. Not only did we not get that, we got antagonistic bullshit, we got online arguments, we got the whole man babies thing. You've already lost everybody at this point. That is an adorable dog, man.
Yeah, I know, right? I have the cutest dog ever.
That is the cutest dog ever.
Yeah.
They're talking about you, Zoe.
Yep. Zoe the Wonder Dog. But yeah, I just seriously.
I'm sure you're not surprised it's a Chihuahua, right?
You're going to show up to watch that's why I don't understand. It's like back in the 80s, you didn't just go and announce a trilogy. You would make a movie and if it was good, you'd come out with a sequel. And then if that was good, you come back for the next one. Now it's like, we're going to make a whole bunch of this fucking bullshit. Come on and spend money on this. And it's like, you already know it's not going to end. You know, you got to see another one.
Milk it.
Everything's just like this long-term commitment. It's like, you want the commitment before you give me the product, and it shouldn't work like that. You should earn my respect. You should earn my admiration. You should make something that I'm interested in the first place before you demand me to make some kind of investment in your trilogy, sir.
Yeah, I'm not buying anything he's selling. I mean, like you said,
No.
we've dealt with 2 years basically now of getting called, racist, sexist, alt-right Russian bots.
Not only did he divide the fandom, he divided it by turning everybody against each other.
Yeah, we got called Methodists and shit.
I mean, really, man.
I had to look up terms that I never heard of before because of this asshole. You know what I mean? Like, just the discussions that I never partook of before this started.
I didn't know what a fucking incel was.
Neither did I do. That makes
I had to look it up.
What is it? Is that something in a computer? I don't know.
I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I looked it up, and and the guy, I came back and I replied to him. I'm like, that's it? I was like, that's the best you got?
What? Like, is that like a midi-chlorian? I mean,
yeah. Like, how many incels are in how many incel count do you have in your body? I have the highest midi-chlorian. His midi-chlorians are off the chart.
Wizard.
God. Like, I learned.
Are you an angel?
I learned what misogynist meant after Ghostbusters, because that was the most entertaining part of that whole spectacle. It was like, oh, so that's what a misogynist is. I just these are words that I didn't use in conversations. I went to college.
We should just call people assholes instead of that.
I didn't use these words,
There you go.
And actually, I heard you mentioned Ghostbusters. And before we move on to our next article, I want to talk a little bit about Ghostbusters, because I watched a video from a channel earlier, and they were talking about Bill Murray not being involved in Ghostbusters 3. There's no confirmation that he's involved yet.
Oh, big shock there. Bill Murray is an asshole.
He doesn't want to do anything. No.
Let's get his idea first.
Yeah. No, I wasn't surprised. I mean, I was a little saddened by it because I was really looking forward to, getting
If he
him.
was like at like the direct-to-video level that Steven Seagal is at, he'd be all for trying to get another Ghostbusters movie out. But since he's not quite there yet,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he's still coasting on that Garfield money,
oh,
he's still coasting on that
Who is it
Garfield.
worse, Nicolas Cage or Steven Seagal?
Seagal.
Seagal.
He
Yeah,
got
Seagal.
fat.
Nicolas Cage is still entertaining. A lot of my friends still like Nicolas Cage, whereas Steven
Mhm.
Seagal was never necessarily good. He just happened to be in a couple of good movies. But
He was there.
Under Siege,
Good
man.
because of
That was a good
yeah.
one.
Under Siege 1 and 2 were great movies, but
Yeah.
they were directed well, they were written well, and they had good supporting actors.
Under Siege 1 brought us Erica Laniak jumping out of a cake.
Wasn't that John McTiernan that directed that? The
Ah.
same guy that directed Predator?
I believe so.
I believe so. Yeah, John McTiernan used to make
Yeah.
some quality action flicks, man. He always passed it really well.
And Erica Laniak would go on to be in Playboy, and she also played Ellie Mae in the version of the Beverly Hillbillies movie that came out in the 90s.
Oh,
Mhm.
I forgot about that.
You know, Pete Miklo was on Under Siege from Blood In, Blood Out.
Was he really?
Yep.
I did not know that.
He was the guy that was fawning over her, and he's like, "You show me how this works. I'll show you." He's one of the dudes that didn't want to go at first.
Shit! I'm gonna have to watch that again. That's funny. Get your placa, Holmes. Get your placa. Hey, la raza ain't a color. Ese is what's inside that counts.
Fuck that! I love that movie, man.
That movie's the shit, man.
I know.
I've seen that so many times. Hey, Cinderella, go get yourself a fella. You're on the clock, bitch. Give me some tone. Yeah, I've seen that movie a few too many times. If you haven't seen Blood In, Blood Out, I suggest you watch it. It's probably the best 3 hours you'll ever spend.
Right.
It's fucking awesome.
Laughing your ass off the whole time.
Oh yeah, Benjamin Bratt is in it. I mean, there's some good actors in this movie.
Oh, Benjamin Bratt.
Yep, man. He's
Hot
good in it,
dogs.
man.
Farmer hot dogs.
Yep.
Oh shit. So yeah, Ghostbusters, man. No, that was kind of depressing to hear, but they're still trying to get Rick
It
Moranis
doesn't
on.
surprise me because he's been the holdout all along.
Yes.
One of the reasons why the Ghostbusters 2016 even happened was because back when Rick Moranis was still alive, or not.
Wait,
I'm sorry,
what?
Harold Ramis.
Let's say Harold
I was
Ramis.
about to say.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis already had several scripts
Yes.
for Ghostbusters 3. The way that was done is Dan Aykroyd was a partner, and he had to sign off on it for it to even be considered to be go into development. And he would not sign off until he got a script that he was happy with. So it kept getting revised and revised and revised because Dan Aykroyd tried his ass off to get Ghostbusters 3 made. And it never happened. The closest thing we ever got to was the Ghostbusters video game.
Yep,
And then, of course, Harold Ramis passed away, and then the rest of the team lost interest in doing another Ghostbusters. So that's why Dan Aykroyd was just kind of like whatever when the thing failed, because he put so much in to trying to get that movie to come out, and Bill Murray was the holdout, and because of the stringent requirements, he had to appear in Ghostbusters 2016. He did not want to be in that movie, and that's why they fucking killed him off in that movie, because there's a lot of bad blood there. He is originally, Bill Murray was not even supposed to be in Ghostbusters. That role was written for John Belushi, who was dead by the time that came out. Yeah, originally it was supposed to be John Belushi as Venkman.
So real quick though, do y'all remember the that Godzilla movie, the cartoon series, the one that came after the '98 one?
I do remember that. Yeah,
there's an episode where one of the characters gets thrown into the future, and it's like in a post-apocalyptic New York. But if you look at for the movie theater, Ghostbusters 8 is playing, or 9. So in that universe, Ghostbusters happened.
In that universe, probably John Belushi was still alive, and Ghostbusters just kept getting made.
Yep.
John Belushi did no D in that one.
Now, I'm one of the few assholes that actually thinks Ghostbusters 2 is pretty good.
I liked it.
No. I like Ghostbusters.
I mean, I still like the first one more, but I don't hate on the second one.
I hate when that came out, and I don't know where people are coming from with that. I'm like, okay, so it's rehashing the same stuff, but damn it was good.
It was fun.
Great.
It was
fun. Vigo. He's Vigo.
Oh my God.
Vigo the Carpathian.
Oh, I forgot Peter McNichol. Yeah. Oh
Yep.
God, he was fucking great in that. Wow.
Yeah. That was another thing, man. That really like I read that. I have the old Scholastic book used to get from them book fairs at school. I got it
Oh, I
when
remember those
that came out in like when I was in probably I think
book
fifth
fairs.
grade. It was like 1989, right? That came out 88 or 89. So I got this book, and so I still have it. My mom brought all these books to my house for Trey, and it's one of them. So I read him the Ghostbusters 2 movie book at the big picture one at bedtime sometimes. Man, he loves it. So that's kind of what that because I read him that book before he ever saw the first movie. Now he loves the movie, the animated show, the real Ghostbusters.
But yeah, I mean, back to Bill Murray. If he hadn't been such a holdout, then Ghostbusters 3 probably would have came out back when Harold Ramis was still alive. And if you remember, remember the Sony leaks?
Yes, 2014.
Ghostbusters 2016 was a total last minute decision pitched by Paul Feig. And they sunk all the money into that because they were trying so hard to get a movie made, and they're just like, yeah, give it to this guy. They did a Ryan Johnson with him.
I didn't even bother watching that one.
He makes chick comedies, which is fine, okay, but that's not something you want your Ghostbusters to be. Something that made the original Ghostbusters work is they were kind of scary, but not too scary, very funny, and very action-packed.
And
it was kind of an amalgamation that hadn't been done before. And the remake is... They kind of squeeze all that other stuff in there, but it's basically a very unoriginal comedy. It's not very funny. Not very funny at all.
That was a lot of the problem with Paul Feig on that movie. Not only does he admittedly not know how to write for male characters, but
no, he doesn't write.
That's ironic, isn't it? Kind of ironic because they always say that males can't do female characters.
Yeah. Well, he was
his direction styles. He just turns on the camera and says, "Okay, be funny." And then he lets everybody improv.
Yeah, he has no idea how to write for like like a manly man character. He can write like he did a lot of writing and directing on The Office actually, which is still like one of my favorite shows. I've seen I watch the shit out of that. But he did a lot of work on that show, but I think the thing was on there wasn't really very many like of the men on that show who were like the alpha male type, Dwight kind of what's his name, Rainn Wilson, which seems kind of weird, calling Rainn Wilson, but like he was because he was an outdoorsman, he was a farmer, but you could definitely see the Paul Feig influence on some of the characters in The Office. And
that's why I think it was funny when Dan Aykroyd not only threw Paul Feig under the bus. He wadded him up like a bowling ball and fucking wound up that arm and rolled a fucking strike under that bus with him because he just flat out said, he's like, hey, we told him he needed to reshoot some things. He decided not to do that, and it is what it is. Because he had a producer credit, so he had every fucking right to say that. And I bet that felt good, him getting that off of his fucking shoulders.
Speaking of Paul Feig, real quick, though, but this is one movie, though. I think it's that I don't know if it was him directed, but that movie Spy with what's her face, Melissa McCarthy.
Oh, I can't stand her.
Like I can't either, but my brother showed me that movie. The only good part of the movie is Jason Statham. He's actually good as a comedian. Watch the movie just for him. Yeah, he's the best part of that whole movie.
I love
Hey, lunch lady, shut up.
I'm a huge
like the best part is when he's like, "You got to put me in the face-off machine," and they're like, "Oh, it takes a quarter." He's like, "Are you serious?" Like,
I think he's capable of a lot more than what he does, but I think he's comfortable where he's at, and I'm fine with it. I don't hate what he does. I don't think he tries to bite off more than he can chew, but he can be really funny. If you remember. When that
Lockstock and Two Smoking Barrels.
Expendables. Remember Expendables? He had all the best lines in that movie.
Oh, shit.
So, but yeah, I just Ghostbusters, man. I'm not surprised with Bill Murray. He is a major bummer like that, and he's. See, I grew up around Chicago, and I have all kinds of Bill Murray stories because he just likes to do stuff like he walks into bars, he walks behind the bars, pours himself a drink. Starts pouring drink for other people, and then he'll just say something like, say whatever you want, nobody will ever believe you, and then just walk out because he's Bill Murray. Shit like that. If
you do it long enough, people are going to start saying, oh, it is true, right?
In fact, his character in Groundhog Day, I think, is more like actual Bill Murray than even Bill Murray would like you to do.
Just or Scrooged maybe. He's
Or
just so
Scrooged, yeah.
cynical.
I think there's more Bill Murray in there than
Yeah.
you probably realize. So yeah, I'm I got a couple movies that I like him in, but like him as an actor, absolutely not.
Scrooged is one of my favorite movies. I do. I love that. I
have it on Blu-ray. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, you have the Blu-ray on that? Nice.
Yeah.
That movie was fun. It had a hell of a cast too, man. A lot of those actors in there were so big in like the 60s and 70s, and they were at the tail end of their careers in the 80s. So it was cool. But Dan Aykroyd was just on the Joe Rogan Experience, and he was talking about that, and he can't even really talk about Bill Murray being in the movie now. He's kind of got a gag order on that because when Joe asked him about it, Dan kind of skirted around the issue quite a bit. And
it's kind of the SNL connection. None of them ever talk shit about each other, even if they are assholes. Otherwise, they'd all be telling you what an asshole Chevy Chase is.
He seems like he's just a
single one of them would be bitching about Chevy Chase, but they don't. It's just like those are your old stomping grounds. It's like you went to school with people. You're not going to talk shit about them because you went to school with them, even if they are assholes.
Yep.
You know what I mean? It's the same way with the SNL alumni. They were nothing before SNL, and then they all went off to do greater things. And also, those guys all starred in each other's movies, so that they got that connection. Of course, you're not going to say shit about them, but we all know them.
Yep. So that's about all I had on the Ghostbusters front. Let's see, what do we have next here on the list? We can do this making. What do you want to do? Do we want to talk about Taco Tuesday or some more Star Wars?
Let's get over to Taco Tuesday.
All right, let's go over to Cinema Blend.
I have a little more knowledge on Marvel, so I guess that works.
We can do that. No, I threw that Star Making Wars article in just so I could make fun of Jason Ward.
Jason Ward. Did you listen to that interview EVS did with him?
No, I never got a chance to. I want to listen to that.
Yeah. I won't say anything of that. Just watch it when you get a chance, or listen when you get a chance.
Okay. Because he did that. That was like a couple months ago.
Yeah, it's been a while now at this point, but still.
Yep. All right. Let me let's get the screen share going here, and it'll probably crash in 3, 2.
Crash.
Moonraker.
Dave Matthews Band reference. All right. So here we go. Taika Waititi. Taco Tuesday. Clarify.
So before you keep going, how do you pronounce Mahershala?
Mahershala Ali. Mahershala.
Yep.
Wait, okay, hang on. Let me read the title. Taika Waititi clarifies Chris Hemsworth Thor Love and Thunder role. It's me, Andre, from Midnight's Edge. I can't really do his voice.
You sound like my friend Mike.
Yeah, I do love that guy's voice though.
He does. Yeah. He's got an amazing voice.
Gruber thing going on. It's awesome.
Yep. That's what it is. It just reminds me of Hans Gruber.
Sounds like he's about to demand those detonators, huh? He wants to know where them detonators are.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Mrs. McLean. How nice to meet you. No, to make your acquaintance.
Ellis, no. Oh, shit. All right. Phase 3 of Marvel Cinematic Universe. Phase 3 of this Marvel Cinematic Universe ended masterfully, with the Avengers Endgame encapsulating every installment in the massive franchise, and Spider-Man Far From Home revealing how Earth recovered from Thanos' assault on the galaxy. Fans are eager to see Phase 4 kick up bullshit, especially after the myriad of exciting announcements about how cucked out this phase is going to be. Oh, wait.
It actually says that?
No, it doesn't.
I would call that embellishment, sir.
That's a bit of
just paraphrasing a little.
Yeah. Fans are eager to see Phase 4 kick up, especially after the myriad of exciting announcements that came with San Diego Comic-Con and the D23 Expo. One of these includes Taco Tuesday's Thor Love and Legumes, the Kevin Thor story, which will mark the first time a Marvel hero got a fourth solo movie. And that's why I laugh. I was like, how is this a fourth solo movie? they're giving Jane Foster the mantle of Thor. You know, she's the mighty lady. Well, she's Lady Thor. She's not Mighty Thor. She's fucking Lady Thor. And then you have Tessa Thompson. You know, that's going to be her main storyline.
The dish rag.
Yep, trying to find her queen for Asgard. And
Remember
it's
back when we used to like her a couple years ago?
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like a couple months ago. But yeah, I don't see how they have any room for him in his own movie. So let's see. He says, Love and Thunder has quickly become one of the most highly anticipated installments coming in Phase 4 after Thor Ragnarok, and Taco Tuesday breathed new life into the franchise. The upcoming sequel will also bring Natalie Portman's Jane Foster back to the franchise, and we'll see her become Lady Thor. But does that mean Chris Hemsworth's character will be stripped of his abilities as the God of Thunder? Waititi recently offered a clarification on the matter, saying, "It's Chris. It's a Thor film. He is Thor. It's a Thor film. She's in it."
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Well, that's one way to clear up rumors, because despite Jane's transformation as the mighty Thor, the OG Avenger will still be the primary protagonist and maintain his powers in the upcoming 4th movie. How that'll balance with the mighty Thor remains to be seen.
They're just gonna open up with him sitting there with his beer gut, and he's just bouncing, or how the fuck you
He's
pronounce
watching
his
some
hammer,
lesbian porn.
bouncing it off of his gut, like just bouncing it up and down. Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
Mahershala.
Mjolnir.
Mjolnir. If I say
More of a JJ.
times, I won't be able to say Mahershala anymore.
Mahershala.
Mahershala Mjolnir. Mahershala Mjolnir.
Mjolnir.
That's 10 times fast.
Let's see if Blade picks up Mjolnir in the future.
Monica, am I saying it right? Mjolnir? Mjolnir?
Mjolnir?
Is she even there?
Are we pronouncing this right, Monica?
I forgot to unmute my mic. I was talking.
She's talking the whole time.
I can't say it, but I don't think you are.
Mjolnir.
It's
Mjolnir.
Isn't it Mjolnir?
Mjolnir.
Sure. Tap's got
You
it.
just don't pronounce the J.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mjolnir.
There you go. You weren't saying it like that at just a second.
I wasn't? Okay. But I said
Nope.
Mahershala right.
Yeah, at least I
No,
can say Mahershala.
no, actually, you've been saying it wrong this whole time. We feel bad for you. That's why.
No. No, because the first person I verified it with was Alex, because he was giving me shit about it. I and Alex, I'm like, I did it first thing in the morning. I sent him a voice clip. I'm like,
Alex lined his ass off.
I was like, it's
Yeah,
Mahershala.
he would.
He would too.
He felt bad for you.
Damn, I hate that match. Taika
Brought to you by Midnight's Edge.
God damn it. Taco Tuesday's comments. Okay, this is the thing. Taika Wafuckface did an interview with MTV News.
MTV.
MTV hasn't had news since Kurt Loder worked there. Like,
Wait, MTV's still around?
Ooh.
yeah, haven't you ever seen Francesca Ramsey's videos?
What do they do now? Because I know they
Nerd
don't
culture, that's what.
do
Yeah, that's-
music anymore. So
It's basically SJW culture, fucking ground zero.
Wow. Okay. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know MTV was even still around anymore. I thought they
Yeah.
died in the
V-
90s with me, with my
VH1
soul.
shows. You know, but let's see. Taco Tuesday's comments to MTV News helped clear up one of the endless questions surrounding Thor: Love and Legumes, the Kevin Thor story. Since the movie was only recently announced, Marvel Studios and Tiki Barber have been keeping the upcoming movie's contents under wraps. And since the movie isn't expected to hit theaters until 2021, we should expect the secrets to be kept for the near future.
I think we should change the name to Thor Thunder from Down Under. That would be funnier.
We don't want it to
That's
be.
theirs. Ours is Love and Lagoons. That's our movie we're going to make. So our
Yeah.
porno.
I do like Love and Legumes.
Love and Legumes, the Kevin Thor story. Narratively,
Kevin.
it seems like Tiki Barber could go anywhere with Thor: Love and Thunder. The title character is almost unrecognizable from the hero we met in Thor, having lost his home and everything that previously
think?
defined God of Thunder.
Right?
Yeah, right?
Because he had to start Ragnarok, didn't he?
Ugh. Asgard itself was destroyed, with Thor giving the role of the new king of Asgard to Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie. All of Thor's family also perished throughout the first 3 MCU phases, so he's in the position to go anywhere in the cosmos in his 4th movie. When we last saw Thor in Avengers Endgame, he was struggling with a serious case of depression and drowning his guilt and his existential dread with alcohol. He was able to speak with Frigga during the time heist and got a perspective that inspired him to take to the cosmos to find who he truly was.
Time travel.
Yeah,
What that part was all about? Because I didn't figure that out.
because my time travel. The
Much
mystery,
time travel.
my time travel, my representation. The mystery is how exactly this will happen. Thor was last seen with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and Marvel fans are eager to see them cross over in either Guardians 3 or Thor.
know.
It's going to be Guardians 3 because Thor 4 is already too packed with just nonsense.
Yeah.
Jane,
The,
well,
the Guardians are fine as a group that they already are. I don't think they need to introduce another person into the, throw a monkey wrench into the.
well, this is the problem, though. Guardians 3 is the last time we're going to see that cast together because now they're going to do what they did in the comics, and they're going to start rotating the people on the Guardians because they've already talked about adding Beta Ray Bill.
But do you know what I mean about a typecast? So, like,
Yes,
I'll give you a good
yes.
example of a typecast. Any of you guys watch Stranger Things? Do any of you watch Stranger Things?
Never seen it.
No.
Okay. Stranger Things had that original cast of kids in the last season, like the third season. There's so many cast members that they literally don't know what the fuck to do with them anymore. And as a result of it, everything feels dumb. It's like they just have to give these people lines, even though their character could totally not exist in this universe, and the story would be just as fine, if not tighter, without all these extra characters. I don't think you should.
But Marussia.
I don't think you should put Thor in the Guardians. I don't know.
See, I like the dynamic he had with Chris Pratt, but if they're not, but if
I
they're,
did like that. Yeah.
if they're not going to keep that team of actors together and move forward past part 3, then there's no point in putting him in there because I don't want to see Thor with like a bunch of newbies in the Guardians. Like obviously they can still do Rocket and Groot. If they can
I heard they were bringing in Nova.
They're supposed to bring in Nova, but they're talking
Adam
about race.
Warlock. Yeah.
They're talking about race swapping Nova now. That was another one I heard
She's
mentioned.
a robot.
And what's his name? Adam Warlock. Supposedly Zac Efron is.
I'd be okay with that.
I would be fine with that, especially after seeing him play in Bundy. That man has range.
You have yet to see his greatest movie yet.
Which one was
High
that?
School Musical 3.
The Greatest Showman.
Zac Efron's in that too?
Are you kidding me? Do you listen to anything I say?
I do sometimes.
No. Yes.
He robots out.
It's my favorite part.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So
So how to you?
Is he singing and dancing in that one, Monica?
He does.
Okay.
Was that playing practice?
I was gonna say that's what he did when he was with Disney, right?
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, no, he's really like I would definitely not mind him in that ad. But they've been talking about him, fantasy casting him as Adam Warlock since they teased that in Guardians 2. So
they just do that to get people talking, man.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
because who honestly was thinking of Zac Efron when they
blew it with D23, and they're just throwing shit at the wall to see what sticks. They're
right.
Star Wars thing. It's back when they were. Remember back when Star Wars was like, yeah, we're gonna have so and so come. The guy from Logan's gonna direct a Boba Fett movie, and that it's all bullshit. None of that shit fucking materialized whatsoever. So
next thing you know, they get Tom Hanks in the MCU. Oh shit!
He's gonna play Force Gump. and then I punched Mr. Thanos right in the dick. But it was bad. I came from an alternate reality, but I still had AIDS from that whore Jenny.
That bitch. Fuck Jenny.
I traveled through time and space on the Milano with a talking tree, a little raccoon, a big green man, a goofy guy who was one sandwich away from being fat, and I still have AIDS. I don't know how it happened.
All right. If Tom Hanks was in the MCU, what fucking actual character would he play?
Tom Hanks in the MCU?
Yeah.
Himself?
For one, he's not going to be in the MCU because he's fucking Tom Hanks. He doesn't need the MCU. He's above that shit.
The MCU needs him.
That's one thing that I respect about Brad Pitt and fucking Leonardo DiCaprio. They have no desire to do superhero movies, and God bless them for it.
You know who I think Tom Hanks would be excellent as, and it's going to be tough to top the performance of the first person who played it, but I think he would play in amazing Dr. Otto Octavius.
Oh, that's not where I was going.
I
don't know if
totally different direction I was going.
I would say Doc Ock.
So we're kicking Pete out of the stream now, guys. Officially.
Don't worry, he'll do it to himself.
Right?
Hang tight.
He probably thought, I got a great one. The guys are going to like this. Nope.
No, I'll be unpopular opinion, Penguin.
Okay.
Okay, who would Keanu Reeves play then?
Wolverine!
There we go.
Well, if they're going to have Keanu Reeves play Wolverine, they might as well let Huey keep playing because they're the same fucking age.
Yep.
They are. They're damn near the same age. I mean, they're both over 50, so...
As long as they get that paycheck, he'll come back. I don't know why people acting like he won't come back.
I would rather see Hugh Jackman just keep playing.
There's another guy that don't need to do any Marvel bullshit. I think that Keanu Reeves, who...
Oh, yeah.
Keanu Reeves, he's reinvented himself as an action hero. Because Keanu Reeves was really good in comedy. He was great in the Bill and Ted movies, all right? It's kind of okay in Point Break, all right? But Point
What do you mean okay in Point Break? He was amazing. He punted a dog.
It's not a movie to be taken seriously.
He punted a dog.
But I don't think that Keanu Reeves was really good at doing dynamic range. I think he's good as an action. He's got a very physical presence, and he likes to do a lot of his own stunt work, and it shows. Him picking.
What do you think of him in Speed?
I loved him in Speed.
I loved him too. Yeah.
He was great at that, and he's great when he does action movies. When he tries to do serious, dramatic stuff, especially roles where he has to use an accent, that California Surfer shit.
You guys ever seen that movie Knock Knock with him in it?
No. Knock Knock?
You guys, yeah, it's called Knock Knock. It's
no, I didn't see that one.
I am an FBI agent.
Yeah, look it up, man. It's pretty twisted, man. It's a pretty twisted story.
Hang on 1 second here. We're going to take a minute to acknowledge the chat here. Flair X is in the house. Says, keep it under wraps so rap never sees the light of day. That was
hi, Flair.
Hi, Flair. Hey, Flair. Why don't you tell us about your sex life? Ghostbusters.
Funny story, Flair.
Funny story. So this girl I know, right? She had like 12 guys. One of them found out. Beat her so bad she ended up in a hospital on, I can't remember the name of the street. That's a funny story, Mark. Yeah. People are strange these days, Johnny. I did not hit her. I did not. Let's see. I did not. Chris Wicks. Ghostbusters missed the opportunity when Ramis died. Murray did an Abrams and fucked up the opportunity to bring the Holy Trinity together. I don't have much time for Murray after that. Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. Like I said, it would have been nice to see him on board with this one, but, you know, it is what it is. Annie Potts is rumored to come back, too. So I'm happy with that. And they're still trying to talk Rick Moranis out of retirement, which I give Rick Moranis a ton of credit.
Annie Potts was fucking amazing in Ghostbusters, too.
Yes, she was.
So fucking funny. And you know what? She's kind of hot, too.
Yes, she was. She was cute and hot in that, like, nerdy way. It was, man. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So Keanu Reeves in the MCU, I don't know, because he wants to be in the MCU though. Like I think he approached Marvel. I mean, I know they've approached him, but I'm sure he's probably asked, "Do you have something for me?" Because a lot of these guys want that just because it's fun. You get a fat payday, and you know this movie is going to grow, so you're going to make money on the back end if your agent cuts
you don't take a lump sum. You just take the residuals off of it.
Yes. God, make money off DVDs and shit like that, and get a merch deal. I mean,
or you could be like Sean Connery and say, "I'm not going to play in no movie called the Lord of the Rings. I think those people are stupid."
Yeah.
And then have your last movie be League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Ouch.
They were talking about having Keanu play Moon Knight.
Yep.
Oh, that's the one I've been hearing. I forgot about that one.
Yeah,
that was one that was rumored, and they were talking about
Keanu Reeves is the Punisher.
That would be.
I wonder if he could do that. He might be able to do a
fucking nail it, dude. He could.
That would be like just an extension of him being John Wick.
Yeah, it's just John Wick.
Yeah, he could definitely do the Punisher for sure.
It's a very physical role. It does not require like massive drama. You just have to.
But can he scream like John Bernthal?
I do like John Bernthal's grizzly bear growls, though.
Right?
Yeah, dude. That's
me and my brother make fun of that all the time. We love it.
That is the thing about John Bernthal is you could like literally see
Raw
John
Warrior.
Bernthal
Yeah.
like snapping and just like
Yep. All those prison scenes from fucking Daredevil, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man, yeah, John. I dig John. I wish they would move him over to the MCU and just make him the Punisher.
I wish they would have kept him on The Walking Dead. He was one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, I actually liked him.
He's great. That's back when that show was still good.
And then they killed him. I was like, fuck it.
Dude, the scene at the farm where he gives that speech before they break that barn open, he breaks that barn open and they shoot all those walkers. That was one of the most like.
I stood up and clapped.
Yes.
I did. God damn it, dude.
Because when I found them keeping all those walkers in that fucking barn, I'm like, oh hell no, dude. I'm like, somebody's just got. I was like, just kidding. And you knew it was going to be Shane because
that was
Shane
one of the most biggest holy shit moments of TV history, bro.
I love it. Shane goes out.
That's back when I was a diehard fan, man. Holy shit. Fuck, I like that show.
All right. Okay.
Funny enough, I'm looking this up, and there's actually a team-up comic book issue with the Moon Knight and the Punisher together. It's pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, I could see Keanu playing a fucking Punisher. I would not be opposed to that whatsoever.
No, I wouldn't either.
Now, I thought that, what's the guy that played Crossbones would have made a decent Punisher.
Oh, yeah, him too, yeah. I like him.
But he was already Crossbones, so you'd be, crossing your own shit at that point. But especially...
I wish trying to kill his ass off. It would have been nice to see him in more.
Trying to keep continuity. But yeah, I remember when I saw... He was, that guy, I can't remember the actor's name right now, but he was in one of the...
The Purge?
One of those Purge movies.
The second one. I actually want to see it because he was in there, and I think it's a little different.
He was totally Frank Castle in that whole fucking thing. I'm like, God, I can see this guy playing Punisher. Yeah. Frank Grillo, that's his name. He's already Frank, so it's a good start.
Yeah. I was just looking at it as well.
But yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to Keanu as the Punisher. We just fucking lose everybody.
No. I was agreeing with you.
No, I mean,
Monica.
Sorry, no
people.
Sorry, I had to go kill a spider for the wife.
Oh, lying ass.
No,
We lost Monica.
She killed it for you. Don't lie.
Monica texted me. She was good for 2 hours tonight, and she said she's not feeling good, so she was going to bail and said to tell everybody good night.
Bye, Monica.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
audio.
Yeah, she wasn't feeling too hot, so she said she could do a couple hours, and she was kind of getting her. She wasn't feeling too hot, so yep, get you some rest, girly. I know you got to work tomorrow, so thank you anyway. But no, the John Bernthal thing, man. He's definitely. I just like I said, they should move him to the MCU. He would be amazing.
Yep.
But
you're right. They never seem to get that shit right. Now I'm thinking all the fuck you got to do is remake the first Death Wish movie and change Charles Bronson's character with Frank Castle. That's all the fuck you have to do. It's not that fucking hard, man.
Yeah. That would be solid.
That's essentially what the Punisher is. It's Death Wish. It's Marvel's answer to Death Wish. That's what the fuck he is.
That's basically it too, man.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
No, they got issues though. They can't leave well enough alone. That's the problem with them.
I mean, if they figured that out with Joker, they figured out it's like, okay, well, we'll do Taxi Driver, but we'll make the main guy the Joker. That's gonna work because it makes sense. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to make a Punisher movie that doesn't suck, just remake Death Wish and change the main character out with the Punisher. Boom, easy. I should be paid to do this shit.
Yeah, we all should.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. We have these discussions all the time, and it's like we always come up with better ideas than the professionals do. It's sad, man, but it's true. We have that. We always do, and it's because like these guys are, I don't know. They're creatively bankrupt because they're only thinking about bottom line. They're not thinking creatively like we.
That's the problem is they don't think that's Disney's whole fucking big problem right now. And I'm just watching this in slow motion. They don't think long-term goals. They think short-term gains. Like what can I make the absolute most money doing right fucking now, rather than, hey, why don't I gamble on this fucking idea because it might pay off in the long run? They don't do any of that. And all of these things that they purchase, they don't know how to manage these things. And that's why they're losing fucking money, because they didn't go in for the long haul. They didn't try to revamp any of these things and bring something different to it.
And they're trying to appease everybody, and
right,
you
that's the problem.
Please everybody. It's never going to happen.
They're designing movies by committee. They're like, what will get X numbers of butts from this particular group here into seats? Yep. So all of these, everything, it's like they said this on Red Letter Media recently, and I agreed with it. They said every scene, they can't just have like a scene like, like from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood where people are just talking, about something that's not really related to the plot. All the Marvel movies, every scene has to hit a certain demographic or hit a certain plot point or hit a fucking introduction character. Everything is designed by committee to the point to where you can fucking predict it before you even almost see it. You can watch the trailer and kind of know the whole outcome of the fucking movie before you even go into the theater and see it.
Yep, what the hell was I talking about? What movie was? Oh, it was that Black Christmas movie I was talking about?
Oh yeah, I saw that advertised today. God,
yeah,
dude.
They give away the entire fucking movie in the trailer.
Yep.
Like they gave away everything. And
that was a great trailer. See you next year.
Yep. Like seriously, man. Did you see, like, now we talked about this?
What? Can we segue into something, Pete? Do you remember? Do anybody else in here have Netflix, or am I the only one guy right now?
I have Netflix.
I got Netflix.
Okay, you have Netflix.
Yeah,
do you remember when they did the Cloverfield experiment or whatever it was? They dropped a trailer for the
Paradox, right?
The Cloverfield Paradox. That's
yep.
it. Now they just call it Paradox. They divorced that shit from the Cloverfield franchise.
Oh, really?
Remember they called that shit Cloverfield Paradox? Now at the time, he did not realize that was a failed movie, that they slapped the Cloverfield logo on there and added a couple of scenes to make it tie in with that, whatever that fucking universe is that Jar Jar created, or J.J. Abrams created.
Is that
what I liked about it? Okay, not the movie's shit. The movie is pure fucking just horrible shit. But what I liked about it was the fact that there was no marketing for that whatsoever. They dropped it on the Super Bowl, and they said, you can watch this movie right after the fucking game. And everybody, I mean everybody, fucking watched it.
Did you ever see the...
well, not everybody.
Pretty much everybody.
I'm just playing.
Did you catch the 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Yep, I watched that. It was all right, man. That was good.
Yeah, it all
Still
goes
haven't
together.
seen it.
Now, okay, so the Cloverfield movie, I saw that in the theaters back, was that 07 that came out? 07?
Yeah, it was.
Okay.
But I wasn't really trying necessarily to bring, the Clover. I wasn't trying to get Cloverfield discussion. What I was trying to get at was the marketing in which they did that. They didn't show you anything about it. They showed you a small trailer, showed you a snippet. They surprised everybody. They just said, showing now on Netflix, boom, here it is. And everybody went to go see it.
So is that tied in? Is that tied in with the movie?
Sort of.
Yeah.
It's
supposed to be in the same universe. Or...
There are things that are not necessarily connected. They're just loosely connected things happening in the same universe. It's kind of all going back to J.J. Abrams' first Cloverfield movie, which I actually like. I like that movie. I do.
I didn't like it at the time. I thought
it was a clever take on a monster movie, and I'm a sucker for monster movies anyway. Like I'll see any fucking Godzilla movie that comes out. I don't care if it gets all 1-star reviews. I'll still show them, So I'm a sucker for that shit. But I thought it was a clever take. It was a found footage version of a Godzilla, movie, which I thought was really, really cool.
Yeah. No, that was I dug that, but no, like I said, and then 10 Cloverfield Lane was supposed to be tied in with those two, right? That was
it's a lot of show don't tell is what I'm getting at, and I see exactly what you're saying. Like you show a trailer, and then the trailer gives away all of the fucking movie, and then there's really no reason to see it. There's that really tense scene. I know you're not into horror, but a lot of other people are.
Me?
It chapter 2. All right,
I love horror.
It's
the it ones.
Yeah, there's that scene with the old lady in the apartment there. It was in the second teaser trailer for It Chapter 2, and it's a great fucking scene, but it's also a very tense scene. The same scenes in the movie, by the time you get there, the tension's gone because you done fucking seen that trailer 2 or 3 times before you walked in the theater. that's like a huge chunk of the movie that I would have rather not seen before going in there. You know what I mean? It would have had more of a dramatic effects. Like, well, you know how this is going to end. You know that's not an old lady. And I'm thinking, now if I'd have gone into that not knowing these things, would I have enjoyed the scene more? Is what I'm getting at. You know, I think marketing has ruined movies more than the studios would like to admit. Maybe they know. I don't know what it is, but it's like they're making these trailers. They're too fucking long. They show too much stuff, and then you get to the movie theater, and there's nothing left to be entertained by.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem too, because they like to do that now. Is but then you got like the
Trailers with the old
mix it up.
Do that shit again. Go back to that.
I want to see the old movie voice, trailers again. Like
that movie voice is
fall.
still around. He does a lot of the honest trailers.
Yeah.
He does all the honest trailers. That guy's still around. Yeah,
in a world where chaos is king, one man lays the law down between right and wrong, dark and the light.
Rules the universe.
I feel like I'm gonna see a Judge Dredd trailer or something.
Oh.
In a world where love is against the law.
In a world where Thor plants beans, Kevin Thor, Love and Legume, coming 2021 to the MCU.
Directed by Paul Fagg.
Watch Tessa Thompson in her hairy 1970s bush.
Damn.
Wow,
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. That I was happy with everything except that chocha, man. That shit looked like it was. Yeah, man. Like I said, I like the body type, man. Sexy as hell, but just that chocha was just cabron. No.
Yeah.
No. As Manny used to say, I would have that immediate reaction when I turn and give that look over my shoulder and be like, hola chinga, and just walk the other way.
You spent a lot of time in Saginaw, that's for sure.
Oh my!
I have a question. Would you call that whamanscaping?
That's definitely something. That is
when the Duke is called manscaping. Would that be called whamanscaping?
That's whamanscaping. Well, what she needs to do,
that probably wouldn't apply because whaman probably don't do any
Womansplaining.
Women do they do some womenscaping, but whamanscaping is non-existent because they're just like, I don't need no man. They're that one wave. They're doing this thing right here. I don't need no man. I'm a strong, independent whammon. Now, where's my child support, motherfucker? That's them right there.
That's Carla. I play the tuba.
And then you get them ones that listen to Cardi B. Like I said, they think collecting child support's a money move.
Bearded lady, what are you, one of the freaks?
Oh shit! Speaking of freaks and stuff, American Horror Story starts this week on Wednesday night, man, and it's AHS 1984. It's all about it's a slasher style season, so I am absolutely stoked about this because
I got some catching up to do on that show.
I've never seen any seasons of those ever.
Oh, it's good, man.
No, I think I watched part of like the pilot of the first one. And it's just kind of
first season. To me, the first season really is honestly probably my favorite overall. That's Murder House.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, Murder House was good.
Dude,
it was really good.
Oh yeah, they were talking about that today. I was watching. They were talking about the top 10 most shocking things on American Horror Story, and the school shooting that Tate did in season 1, which is Evan Peters' character. Yep. He really made a nice little career for himself because he was he did a guest appearance on The Office before. He's been in countless seasons of American Horror Story. He was which X-Men was, I can't remember which one of the X-Men he was.
Wasn't he Quicksilver?
Yeah, he was. That's right. He was Quicksilver. So, and they're actually talking about bringing Quicksilver back for the TV show, The WandaVision. Was it Aaron Taylor Johnson that played him? They said he really doesn't.
He was the guy that kid.
You know what, Pete? Every time you say WandaVision, all I can think of is that lady from In Living Color. played
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx just saying, "I rock your world." I just picture a TV with her just announcing shit like, "Now we're gonna have the show, rock your world."
Hi, girl.
Hey,
Mhm.
WandaVision. Oh my god.
Wait, hang on. Let's see here.
Whoever came up with that name, fuck you. Seriously.
Right.
WandaVision.
Lazy ass fuck. That's what I think.
Right? So bad. It's so
Hey,
bad.
just take the WandaVision. WandaVision.
Here it is right here.
Baseball.
Yeah, that.
Wait, let's see. It should be sharing here anytime. If you guys can see it or not, but I got a picture of Wanda up there. Is it sharing?
Yep.
Should put the one where Dracula.
Hey, I'll rock your world. Let's see.
Like if
Wait.
you wait, you get the whole quarter pounder with cheese.
Oh, here's a good
Coming
one
this
right here.
week on WandaVision. Rock your world.
Wait, look, and this man won an Oscar, and this is where he started. He's won a.
He won an Oscar for doing one of his Living Color bits because he used to play Ray on. He was playing the piano, doing impressions of Ray Charles before he was attached to the movie.
Dude, this is great because this one right here, where he was outside the door, he was outside. It was Barry Bonds, I believe it was on that episode. And he's like, "Hey, Barry," and he fucking and because at one point Barry Bonds goes running out of the fucking house.
Oh man,
Yep,
memories.
My brother loves that show.
I do too.
Dude,
I would buy those.
I didn't watch it. I haven't seen a lot of it, so I can't say I love it.
DVD, dude, just to watch them because and the funny thing is when they show like the bands that are on there, those like bands I used to remember like really liking, like holy shit, Ice Cube's on here. Fuck, back when Ice Cube was still considered like pretty badass, not just like some movie.
And there's a family movie guy.
Yeah, now he's like the family movie guy. Yeah. Like the guy, he's the guy that did Barbershop. All right, that's what he is now.
Yep.
Back in the '90s, he was like the guy from NWA, the really dangerous, badass rapper. Now it's like, man, not so much.
Ice Cube at
I
one
don't know
point,
about that.
he was like the angriest black man in America. He really was, man.
Rap is kind of like wrestling in the fact that you're only like in it for a while. Like your time is very short. You know what I mean? While you're relevant, and then you need to find other things to do because your career just kind of ends before you know it. You can't just like retire a rapper
Unless you're Busta Rhymes.
You're right. Oh, you're Biggie. He got retired. Somebody
I told you
him.
I feel about Busta Rhymes. I saw him live. There's not much there, all right? Really not much there.
Oh shit! Hey, he kicked the shit out of Michael Myers. All right.
Sure he did.
Oh,
You say so. Yeah.
I won't hear anything bad about him. He was one of the best Halloween movies
Because
made.
plot, that's why he.
Yeah. You know what Busta Rhymes' best role was the Shaft remake.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot he was in there. Also, he was in Higher.
Oh shit! This is my dog.
He was in Higher Learning too. If anybody remembers Higher Learning.
Nope.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
I know of it, but never watched it.
With Ice Cube, Larry Fishburne, Michael Rappaport. Michael Rappaport is an insane lunatic now. But he is.
Is that when that dude goes and becomes a Nazi, though? A neo-Nazi?
Yeah, he plays Remy. He goes to college, and his roommate is a Jewish kid. Actually, it's Adam Goldberg.
I know who he is. Yeah.
It's his roommate, and yeah.
That's where they got it from Don't Be a Menace, when that guy's like, someone's going to make out of the hood, and they shoot him.
Yep. And what's his name?
that was funny.
Cole Hauser is the head of the Skinheads.
I forgot about that guy.
I fucking like Cole Hauser. He's awesome.
I love him.
Hauser
Dude.
from
He's such an
fucking-
underrated actor.
He is.
Pitch Black.
Because he was in that Tears of the Sun, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Oh, that's a good movie, underrated movie. I think people forget about Tears of the Sun.
So it's Pitch Black.
Yes, it is.
That's my favorite thing with fucking what's his name from Fast and Furious, Vin Diesel. Yeah, I love him. The fucking Riddick movies are awesome.
Before he found his family.
Every fucking one of those movies is amazing. I love all of them.
My favorite. I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Tap, you're a video game guy. Did you ever play Escape from Butcher Bay?
No, I remember like seeing like pictures of it in a magazine, but I never played it.
If you can get your hands on a copy of that, play.
What was it, PS2 or something?
It was PS3 and Xbox.
Okay. Yeah, that's how.
It was Xbox and PC, and then they re-released it. They did like a remaster of it, and they had like a sequel on the same disc, and they released it for Xbox 360 and PS3, I believe.
Okay, I have to keep an ey out because like
It's
I don't know
fun,
when,
dude.
but because I want to go back to movie Cherokee because what I want to get is the Lord of the Rings: Return of the King game because as much as that game pissed me off, I loved it.
The best way I can describe Escape from Butcher Bay, dude, is if you played Metal Gear. If you took Metal Gear and Doom and fucking mixed them, that's what Escape from Butcher Bay is.
Okay, I'll keep an eye out when I go out there.
It's like stealth and action. You gotta escape out of prison, and you are Riddick. It's fucking awesome, dude.
We are the Riddick.
Oh shit!
Be
So
the Riddick.
we are, I'm gonna ask you guys what you want to do here because we have one article left, or we can just kind of go into the end of the show and go into the last segment of who's worthy of Mjolnir, or we can talk. We don't even really have to do the article. We could just talk about the race swapping of Professor X and Magneto a little bit.
We can talk about a little.
I
have to go to the article. We don't have to go on that.
Well, the only thing I can say about it is my introduction to X-Men was the movies, not the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
I knew a little bit about some of those characters because I had friends of mine that were big X-Men fans. I was not necessarily into the X-Men whatsoever. So my introduction to X-Men was the X-Men movie that came out in '99. And what compelled me, I watched part of it when I was at Circuit City waiting for, I was putting some subwoofers in my fucking car. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching X-Men. I got really fucking hooked on it. What got me was you introduce your movie to the villain as a child. And you show him going through this fucking horrible shit, and then that's where his powers develop. And you're showing how basically these people are getting their powers through puberty and some horrible thing happens. A certain moment in time kind of brings out that power that they have inside him when he makes the gate open up. I thought that was a really powerful scene. And then the next time you see him, he's Ian McClellan, and he's got the tattoo on his wrist. And he's at the hearings, and I thought, this is fucking slick, man.
Like but now if they race off the black, what's it going to be from Oakland now?
What I was getting at is what drives that character is you know how horrible that guy's past was, and you can almost justify why he's doing the things that he do. You get him, which makes him, in my opinion, a more compelling villain. You know that he's experienced some of the worst things that you possibly can. You know that in his mind, he believes that he's the patriot, not the villain. You know what I mean?
And that's the best villains, the ones that believe they're right.
The ones that you can understand their motivation. They're not just out there I'm going to take over the world. No, he wants to fucking cancel out humans so that he doesn't have to worry about that happening again. That makes more fucking sense to me. He's not a Bond villain. So if you do the race swap thing, will that still have the same effect?
I don't think, because what are you going to do with it? Because I got into a big thing on this the other day about because the characters are truly not based on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. They are not. So that, and them saying that it's too outdated of a trope to have him be a Holocaust survivor, that kind of got me a little heated. Because it's like, so you're saying the Holocaust is irrelevant now because it was so long ago? Like, what the fuck kind of logic is that? Like, you can make them descendants of, They don't have to be direct.
Just another scheme to modernize it.
How about this? Okay, how about this? Because a lot of people really liked First Class. And you know what made First Class work so well? It's set in the time frame that the comics took fucking place.
Yeah.
Why not do that? Why not make it a fucking period piece?
You're making too much sense, Adam.
Yeah, dude. Because then if they
That's
did
one
that,
of the things that made Wonder Woman so cool. It's like the whole thing's taking place during fucking World War II. I'm sorry. Yeah, World War I.
Blasphemy.
Getting confused with Captain America because those movies are kind of similar in the way. But
remember, they were fighting the Germans.
That's what
Germans, not the Nazis. The Germans.
What made it so fun is that it is a period piece after all.
Mm-hmm.
That's what made it work. That's part of what made it work. So I'm thinking, why don't you just keep that same? It's not like the things that happened with the Holocaust are not still relevant in today's society. If Marvel's starting to think like that, then we're already fucked.
Well, that's how they kind of are acting with it, because they just like
Right.
brush.
So what they want to do is they want to bring today's social politics and make the X-Men. They want to build it around that shit. Goddamn well that's right.
Oh, absolutely. Well, that's the thing, and actually, big shout out, and he just subscribed to the channel. Another former member of Team Ratings, hashtag at Team Ratings, still best in the fucking world. Alex Steele just subscribed to the channel, so thank you. Yeah, Steele,
What
man.
happened to the Steele brothers, huh?
Cannonball subscribed to the channel.
Cannonball.
I was talking on a post earlier about this because I posted the thing, Jeff's video from World Class Bullshitters about this whole debacle of them, contemplating this race switch. And another wrestler, Will Use, who is on what is he on?
Yeah.
He's on Impact every week. You can watch him.
Impact, Ring of Honor.
Yep, dude's doing the damn thing, man. But no, he's he kind of echoed, he kind of didn't really echo, but he kind of co-signed to my statement that just stay true to the source material. This
exactly, dude. That's what I'm saying. Can you think of anything in history that was fucking worse than the fucking Holocaust?
Outside of slavery in this country,
right. Having a villain as a Holocaust survivor, which you should make him a tragic figure, Magneto, because he's becoming the thing that he hates.
You've become the very thing you swore to destroy.
He's becoming the thing that he hates. Exactly. He wants to. Whenever you want to wipe out anything, or convert something, you're doing the exact same thing that you try to run away from. It's the tragic story. That's what you should do. Introduce everybody to fucking do just like you did with the first movie. Show and make Magneto the fucking protagonist. Make that be the first fucking movie. Have it set in the fucking Holocaust. Keep the fucking periods accurate. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. That is, but then again, they I don't know if they can do that.
But if they want to modernize everything, then well, fucking good luck to you then, I guess. Jesus Christ.
They want to 2019 it up, that.
The way that they're talking about it now is the Suicide Squad starting to sound more interesting to me.
I don't know. Like I said, I made it through 45 minutes of the first one, and I was like,
and what did I tell you about Suicide Squad? Why is it that it didn't work? It didn't work because David Ayer spent more time turning the C grade DC villains into a bunch of cholos, and he forgot to fucking write a script.
It's a fucking cholo.
That's just my opinion. It's none of my business.
That's just your opinion.
I don't mind. Like I said, I watched 45 minutes of it, and I can't watch any more of this shit. So
how could you? How could you?
Everybody was so excited about a year ago. Oh man, wouldn't it be awesome if the X-Men got into the MCU? Holy shit, it'd be so great. And everything that we've heard now,
I don't know why they thought it would be, considering the circumstances.
It's like I said, Disney doesn't think anything through.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Kevin Feige thinks anything through anymore. I think he's so focused on woke entertainment and making sure everything hits all of these fucking he got to appease all these demographics. You got to assemble all this shit by committee.
I thought you were
thinking about the long con. No, man, demographics. It's just everything's by committee. It's like everything you do in the movie has to you have to make a certain group of people happy by saying or doing or having this thing in it. It makes this shit so boring, dude.
And that's it too. Every piece of entertainment is not meant to appease every group. And I went into this in my video yesterday. And this diversity.
I'm going to quote a YouTuber called the Act Man. Okay, everything that you do doesn't have to be a fucking statement.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You can just make things for the sake of making entertainment. The diversity box checking doesn't create better characters. Characters are great because of the conflict between them that creates drama, and that creates a great story.
Like I said with Magneto, he was such a compelling villain because what can you think of that's worse than being a fucking Holocaust survivor?
Yeah.
You get his fucking.
I don't know, man.
Absolutely, and then you get this. The whole, like I said, the box checking, the quota diversity, that's prejudicial by its very nature. It classifies because it just strips the person down to the identity of just their race. That's it. And that in itself is racist. I mean, you're taking somebody and saying, this is what you,
I've fucking went to hell and back with that fucking argument.
you know, it's like you're telling them this is what you are. Well, no, I'm more than that. Well, no, you're black, so you fit in here. You're Mexican, or you're Asian, or you're, you know, this, or you're that, or, you know, whatever. But it's just
insert minority.
yeah, insert marginalized POC.
Minority action.
Yep. But so I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think they even talked about race swapping Wolverine at this point, which, you know, I guess whatever. It's
you can't
not
have it both ways, man. You
No.
can't just. You're not going to eliminate the problem. The problem was always that there was. Okay, you're saying that the problem is diversity, right? But if you just replace one thing with something else, you're not eliminating the problem. You're just all you're doing is you're turning it upside down. You know, it's still the same fucking problem. It's still there. You have to, if you want to be truly diverse. If you want to, you know, switch out a couple people, fine, but it needs to make sense in the story. Otherwise, it just looks like you're doing this just to say, "Oh, look, I did a great thing because I swapped this out." Pat me on the back. Everybody throw bouquets at me.
You want to be like Kevin Feige, make the first episode ever. I mean, the first movie ever.
Kevin Feige. Congratulations, Kevin Feige. You're the first person that's ever fucking turned a camera on. Go you.
There's never been a fucking female action star before in a movie. There's never been a female-led super. You know, Helen Slater didn't make a fucking Supergirl movie back in 1984.
Xena, Warrior Princess.
Yeah,
Kill Bill never came out volumes 1 or 2. Right?
You never heard of Underworld or The Fifth Element or Silent Hill or.
Nope, never happened. Didn't happen.
Nope, that never happened. Yep, exactly.
Or we can fall back on the normal ones, you know, Terminator with, you know, Sarah Connor, or, you know, Ripley in Alien, you know, Jamie Lee Curtis in Halloween. You know,
exactly, David. Blade.
Hell, even Gone with the Wind.
Yeah,
before
that was a strong female. She wasn't an action star, but she was a strong female character.
Hey, before there was Blade, there was fucking Meteor Man. You know, there was Meteor Man. There was Shaft, you know. So this
amazing movie.
Yeah. Didn't they remake that?
Yeah,
they did. They made it with Samuel Jackson. It was actually pretty good.
Is it a good one?
I liked it. I didn't see the most recent one. I didn't see the one that just came out this year. They all have the same fucking name, so it gets kind of confusing nowadays. But,
all right. Well, hey, I see Will has to jet here. So, Big Willie style, thank you for joining us, my brother.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Work comes early, so I gotta.
Yeah. Absolutely, my man. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next Monday over on Anchor for the episode over there.
Heck yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for having me, bro.
Anytime, my man. Thanks for joining
us.
All right, take care, guys.
Later.
See ya.
So yeah, no, that
there was 3.
Yep, then there was 3. But no, so this race swap thing really doesn't need to happen, man. They don't. It's not doing anybody any good. It's completely just.
If you could prove to me at some point to where it's made something better, then we'd have a case for an argument. But it hasn't made anything better yet. That's the problem.
As soon as they started talking about race swapping Wolverine, I was like, Idris Elba, Michael B. Jordan. I'm trying to think of like Morris Chestnut. Who else are they gonna throw in there? You know,
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle. These guys are still in the MCU, and they're like, "Hey, man, I'm in the MCU."
It's like we're always saying when you climb on top of a hill that was built by somebody else, and then you say, "This is my achievement," it never works because you didn't build that. That's not your creation. That wasn't your hill.
And there'll be someone to call out the bullshit. Someone's gonna look it up.
You're making people. All you do is you make people roll their eyes back there and say, "Oh, here we go again. We just have to do this because this is the way of things." That's the only reason.
Yep, and it's not it doesn't, like I said, it's not doing any good for anything. All it's doing is dividing fan bases and these these pre-existing IPs that have been around forever, and it cuts a hole in the fan base, and people argue.
Then when that stuff doesn't work, you're just gonna blame all the fans that spent all the money on this shit and supported it and went to the fucking conventions and shit, and waited in line to get somebody's autograph, and then when you blame them and then they don't come back for your fucking sequel, hey guys, yeah, and then you'll show a trailer where 50% of it is member berries.
I'm gonna need you to fill out those TP reports, TPS reports.
Yep. All right. Well, I think it's naturally about time. I say we just kind of cut into. We've been almost 2 hours, and it's a Monday night. We're gonna break right now into who is worthy of Mjolnir, and I have. Let's see here. Now, this week, for who's worthy of Mjolnir. So after much thought and deliberation, I've come to my decision. I was going to pick Drew Brees this week, but he broke his hand and he'll be out of action for 6 weeks. And I like Drew Brees. This week, I've chosen someone who, by today's standards, would be more than worthy to hold Mjolnir. As a matter of fact, he'll hold whomever he wants, whether they like it or not, and get away with it. Tonight, we salute you, Big Ben Roethlisberger. Even with your season-ending elbow injury, I deem you worthy of holding Mjolnir or anybody you want, whenever you want, whether they want to be held or not. So here's to you, Ben Roethlisberger.
Woo!
Hey.
Hey guys, we're all getting late tonight.
I was going to say Tim the Toolman Taylor, played by Tim Allen again.
Yep.
We can hold any fucking hammer. He's Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Yep.
So that was courtesy of Coach Loudy. He sent that in this morning for me because I told him that was it. Once he told me he couldn't be on the show this evening, I had him get me a Who's Worthy of Mjolnir so we could keep that going now. So with that being said, I think this is a good spot to end it. It's 10:30. We've been going for a couple hours, and I want to thank everybody that joined us in the chat. Flair X, David Applegate, Chris Wicks was here. Darth Tico was here for a little while. So hey, on your way out, guys, please be sure to let me do it here. Let me turn the camera on for the Monica. Bitch slap that like button on the way out, and please consider subscribing. I'm trying to grow the channel here. We hit 95 subscribers. I picked up 3 in the last 2 days. So thank you to Alex and the girl that works at the gas station down the road from my house who subscribed to my channel. Yeah. And Crazy Crab subscribe to my channel and check him out. He's got like 888 subscribers. I'd never heard of him before, but I commented on a Geeks and Gamers video and he responded and subscribed to my channel. So thank you very, very much for subscribing. And I had to get one in, and I waited for Monica to be off the air because I know she hates that. So I want to thank Mr. Tap and Di for joining us. Thank you, Tap, for joining us this evening, and thank you for the router and the Lego guys. And we'll put some pictures of those up and the weapons. And I'm gonna work on that router tomorrow.
Yay!
All right. Yeah, no problem on that. It was free, right? My brother was giving it away. He didn't want it.
Hell, like I said, man, all I had to do is pay shipping. I'll take that. So. That's absolutely cool. Yeah, we still got the GoFundMe going. Like I said, we got what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have 2 routers. I'll have 2 routers. Once I get the other one hooked up, we get the new one. We'll have it going on. And of course, thank you to my brother from another mother, the Groovinator.
Huzzah!
Thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on such short notice tonight, dude.
You know it.
It was greatly appreciated, and you're coming back on Wednesday for episode 62. So it'll be me, you, Salvador, Monica, and Tap if he's available. If he wants to come on Wednesday night, or
I'll let you know.
Yeah, that's
it's good for him.
Yep, I know. See, you're welcome. You're welcome, Flair X. Chris Wicks, you still here? All right, man. Thanks
for hanging out with us, dude,
thank
bro.
you guys. Yeah, man. Thank everybody. Hail the fandom menace, man. Let's that's a big thing here. We this is going into episode 9. There's been all this talk about a fracture in the fandom menace, and it's not going to happen. The fandom menace is we're a strong community, and we're not sycophants, and that's why we can weather the storm of
Honest to God, I wish we could be more excited it's fucking
Yep.
hard. I
It
think you
is.
guys know where we're coming from, right?
Yep, and that's
Hard.
it.
Yeah.
If
Not
they're
that we don't want to be excited.
Yeah.
It's just fucking almost impossible. It's like I like what I like. I'm sorry.
Yep, I'm not gonna bend the knee and say I like garbage entertainment that I
Well,
don't
we
like.
don't
So
we don't blindly worship logos on this channel. We worship good product.
That's
You
it.
Give us something good and we'll worship it. But until we see good product, nope, don't work
Yep.
like that.
Product over brand. With that being
Respect is earned, not as expected.
and like Doomcock says, without respect, we reject.
Fucking
That
right.
that's gonna do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for episode 61, Monday night going in raw, right here on the Place to Be Reviews. I will see you tomorrow morning at 8:30 for About Last Night, right here on Etepo Queens, the Place to Be Reviews. Good night, everybody. And you got a couple seconds to be inappropriate.